The Glover, he's got a first down and more down the sidelines, dragging tacklers inside the 30-yard line. Mason Glover, welcome back to the Simon Fraser clan.
Flags in the backfield here, Howie. I think this one might be coming back. Thought I saw a hold pretty late in the play.
That's going to hurt the clan here early, trying to clean up on those penalties. Holding called against Simon Fraser.
Yeah, not sure who it was, but I thought I saw an arm extended there and a little bit of a tug. So now second and 12 for Simon Fraser, but really good pace to this offense to start the game.
Yeah, the big hitter to Rice and John and a couple of nice handoffs here, although that one negated by the penalty. Mason Glover showing some good form here early for the clan, and he's once again in that backfield. Simon Fraser changing things up here, I think, at the line of scrimmage. Nixic taking a look over at the coaching staff. Hand off to Glover, trying to get to the hole. Might have gotten to the original line of scrimmage. But some good defense there by Azusa Pacific.
Yeah, Azusa Pacific with 3 down linemen and then 2 linebackers walked up onto the line. Just not many holes for Glover on that run. And Azusa Pacific clamping down on that play.
Yeah, watch number 34, Micah Ross, their whip linebacker. He was right in there to make his defensive presence felt on that play. So 3rd and long, call it about 3rd and 12 here for Simon Fraser. Big down here early for Brandon Nixic and the clan. Nixic, nice time, airs it out down the field, but is going to overthrow his receiver, and that was Gavin Cobb on the play. Well, they teased you a bit there, Nick. They gave you the big shot down the field to Rice and John, but penalties get in the way here.
And we saw that a bit last week, but I really like the attitude from Nixic this evening, taking some shots down the field. I thought he did have Cobb there. Cobb had a step. He also might have had Basalt over the middle and just around the sticks, but I like the confidence in Nixic taking the shot down the field early in this game.
I agree with you completely, as Keith Metzelar now back to punt away the football. Nice hang time on the punt, fielded, and the fair catch called for at about the 13-yard line. So we get our first look at this Azusa Pacific offense. The scores of their games: a 35-16 loss to open the season at West Texas A&M, as well on the road at Missouri S&T, a 51-17 loss, and then of course that 42-36 loss against Western Oregon, where they put some points on the board but couldn't hold off the Wolves.
Actually, their backup, Anthony Catalano, is under center here to start the game, Howie.
Interesting. Number 8, Catalano, and that one is going to be blown up immediately by the clan.
A big loss there.
Is that Isaac Evans, I believe, the defensive end out of Terry Fox Secondary in Port Coquitlam, in there for the stop.
You see Tyron Williams down there on the sideline with the jersey, so just a coaching decision here to go with Catalano early in the game.
Anthony Catalano, a bit of a surprise here, but he has had some snaps. Goes to the sidelines, has a man out by the first down marker, up around the 25-yard line. Josiah Richard Lewis, he's a 6-foot freshman receiver. And that Azusa Pacific receiving corps has some youth. They have 3 freshmen in the main rotation of their receiving group.
Their big guy on the outside, number 4, look for him, Brandon Jackson, 6'4", 210 junior receiver. He's a big guy on the wide side.
Catalano stays in his 3rd snap of the game, and he's going to get sacked by the clan. And Isaac Evans, I believe, number 40, got in there from his defensive end spot. He gets the sack, and what a great start by this clan defense.
Boy, really nice rush there. Just did a bit of a stunt up front, and Isaac Evans able to slice in through the middle and bring down Catalano. Nice play.
So nice to see the passion early from this clan defense. They were on the field a lot last week and weren't rewarded for their efforts, but they've done a good job here now, forcing 2nd and long for Catalano and company. Handoff to number 23, and the nice tackle made there by the Simon Fraser clan. So Zakel Riddick, the 5'10 junior. So the clan forcing 3rd and long here. Dig down here for the Clan defense early. Catalano airs it out to the sidelines. Oh, what a great adjustment coming down at about the 40-yard line there by number 12 of Azusa Pacific, Josiah Richard Lewis.
Yeah, and he's their number 2 option at receiver. He comes into the game with 12 catches, 245 yards, and a touchdown. Look for him to be the opposite side of Brandon Jackson. A really nice catch there. Pretty good coverage by Simon Fraser, but nice throw, nice catch.
So talking about the backup Catalano in there, but he does a great job of getting the ball down the field on a key 3rd down. And Azusa now with a chance to start a march here. Another handoff inside, met by a host of Simon Fraser tacklers.
And Azusa Pacific is going to spread the ball around on the ground. Before the game, Howie counted 4 guys with over 10 carries through their first 10 games. So really kind of just go with the hot hand for the Cougars and see maybe drive for drive. We might see a couple different options at running back.
And Riddick, not among their top 3 carriers heading into this game, but getting some action early.
Great tackle.
Dawson Marchant, I believe the former Lord Tweedsmuir Panther, coming up there in the secondary to make the stop.
Yeah, just a little wide receiver screen there, and Marchant able to beat his block and just clip the heels of the wide receiver there to bring him down, basically at the line of scrimmage, forcing a 3rd and 7 here, Howie. This would be a big stop for Simon Fraser with the ball just inside their own territory.
Well, see what they can do in terms of shutting them down. Josiah Richard Lewis, number 12, among the top receivers in that group. For Catalano, number 8 here on 3rd and long, just across midfield. Ooh, batted away. Great job there by the Simon Fraser clan.
Yeah, and that was Isaac Muckian there coming off the right side. Simon Fraser bringing a little bit more heat than we saw last week early on in the game, and forced Catalano, or it looked like Catalano wanted to do that quick throw, but good job by Muckian to get those hands up, knock that ball away, and force a punt here at midfield. Well,
it's disruptive, I think, as we've seen this group this season. Really promising start here by the Clan defense. Gavin Cobb now set to return this punt, and he is electric if he can get some time and space. But instead, we'll call for the fair catch at about the 12-yard line. So we've seen everything here early from this Clan offense. I mean, Rice and John, well, he sure has an knack, doesn't he, for coming down with that football, Nick? And that was a great catch off the big shot there down the field.
Well, he's basically me stacked on top of you, Howie. That's how tall he is. So he's a big target out there now, trotting out to the wide side of the field here. But look for Nixich to target him deep down the field, and maybe Cobb over the middle here. As again, Simon Fraser comes out in the pistol with 3 wide, a formation we often see from them.
And Mason Glover again in the backfield. Glover wanting to establish that run game. We'll see what they do play selection-wise here early. Nixich floating it up, and he was looking for Robert Metters, number 15. We talked about Metters being an effective guy who really didn't see the ball a lot last week.
Yeah, we didn't see him a ton last week. I'm not even sure if he got a target, but Nixich trying to get the ball deep downfield to him. And again, I really, not to be a broken record here, but I really like how Nixich is trying to stretch the field here early in this game.
That's a handoff to Glover. He's not going to go anywhere there. He's met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Azusa Pacific, and the tackle there, Robert Polomeni, the defensive tackle.
And Azusa's really stacking up the line again. 3 down linemen, but they walk up their 2 outside linebackers onto the line of scrimmage, so they're basically covering every gap at the line. And the offensive line of Simon Fraser not able to open up any holes there for Glover, and he is brought down for no gain.
3rd and long deep, had 2 pick sixes last week. Want to have caution, but also don't want to back down from trying to get the ball up the field here as Nixich takes a few steps back and looks to the far sideline through the hands of Cobb. And number 7 for the Cougars, Quentin Frazier, making a diving attempt to try and pick that one off. 4th down, the Clan will have to punt.
Yeah, quick possession there for Simon Fraser. Not what you want, obviously, early on in a game now. Punter's going to be kicking from his own end zone. That's Keys Metzelar. So APU going to get the ball back here around midfield. And again, as we saw the trend last week, Simon Fraser defensively had a lot of short field, so hopefully they can hold the Cougars here.
Is that Richard Lewis, number 12, back to return? I think it is. He's going to call for that fair catch. So nice field position here for the Cougars. Going to start at about their own 47-yard line.
And we saw some great plays defensively from Simon Fraser, a sack and some tackles in the backfield. But Catalano made a couple third down conversions and got them to midfield. We'll see what they do here on their second drive of the game. Howie, as they led a pretty balanced attack of running and passing on their first drive.
Brought a lot of pressure. We'll see what they do here on first down. It's a handoff out of the backfield. Minimal gain here for Azusa Pacific. And as you say, their top two running backs coming into this game are Bryce Grandison, number 32, and Gil Scott Jackson, number 22, but we haven't seen them in action. It's been Zakel Reddick exclusively, number 23.
And I do remember the name Reddick from last year, Howie, so perhaps he was just struggling with a bit of an injury early on in the season, and he might be their lead back this evening.
It looks like he's going to be a bit of a workhorse here for Catalano, who's going to go to the far sideline, has a man, and outreached arms, can't come up with it. That is number 80, Noah Bogardis, a 6'1 freshman.
Yeah, and great coverage there by Jarrell Cummings. So we saw some good plays by him last week as well, a couple stops on some run plays, but also a couple nice pass defenses. And he was right there, stride for stride with Bogardis heading down the left flank. And no need to make a play on it as Catalano just overshot his target. But another third and long opportunity here for the Simon Fraser defense.
Nice job by Cummings, a freshman at Notre Dame secondary in East Vancouver. So two freshmen on that play. Third and 8, a timeout called.
And for Simon Fraser, you obviously want to get this right. You don't want the Cougars marching any further down into your territory, the ball at midfield. But an early opportunity for Simon Fraser to get some stops here. The Cougars haven't been able to get too much going offensively, a couple first downs, but really Simon Fraser able to contain them pretty well early on in this game.
Yeah, it looks like they got some nice work done this week, Nick, and you know what? You got to carry that positive attitude into practice. Coming off a loss, actually mounting 3 losses in a row, not easy to keep that spirit going, but it looks like the Clan really came out of a good week of practice here, seemed to be in a really good state of mind here early.
Yeah, 100%. This defense looks pretty fired up and ready to go here this evening. So I'm interested to see how this game progresses.
So about 3rd and 8 here. Right at midfield at beautiful Swangard Stadium. Catalano, lots of time back there. Instead, tucks it. Going for the marker. First down and more as he heads to the sidelines. Catalano with a huge run down the field. He's inside the 10, and he's going to get taken out just shy of the goal line. What a huge run that was. About 40, we want to say about 48 yards probably on a scramble by Catalano. He saw something he liked, Nick.
And that's something he can do, Howie. He's had 11 carries on the season just for 58 yards, but that was about a 50-yard gainer there. And when you do man-to-man coverage on the back end, and they pulled the stunt, the Simon Fraser defensive line, Catalano just saw some daylight, and he had a lot of space to make waves down the field. And some flags here as well, Howie. I think a late substitution.
Knocking on the doorstep are these Cougars. Tough break for that Clan defense. They had played exceptional to this stage, which they gave up the huge gainer there to the quarterback Catalano. Simon Fraser with too many men on the field.
I'll go down to the half-yard line as opposed to the 1 here.
So right on the shadow of the goal line, a real tough task here for the Clan to try and keep Azusa Pacific out of the end zone. That's a handoff and into the end zone for a touchdown. And I believe that's Cassius Reynolds who, is that correct? He's listed as a defensive back, but Cassius Reynolds taking it into the end zone. Pretty sure that was number 25.
Yeah, it looked like it. Good run there up the middle, and always tough when you got your heels on the goal line there for Simon Fraser. But that big run by Catalano, really obviously the key play on that drive, 3rd and 8, and converts and gets a long run, probably 45 yards down to the 1 yard line. And APU goes up early here with 6:42 left in the first.
Ramsey Jaredley now stepping up for the extra point, and he'll knock that one through for a 7-0 lead. Nick, talk about the surprise of seeing Catalano when you look at what's been happening with the success of Tyrone Williams Jr., the established guy, in the conference thus far this year in terms of what he's been able to do. You might prepare for him all week, and all of a sudden there's Catalano number 8.
Yeah, and I wasn't able to catch video of last week's game, but I do know that Catalano came in midway through the second quarter, so I'm not sure if Williams is nicked up or if it's just a coach's decision here. But you're right, Howie, and we've seen it up north here. We were talking about it before the game in the CFL. There's only one starting quarterback that's actually their original starter from the beginning of the year. So, and you look, we talked about, again, Nixitch, Simon Fraser. That's their third-string quarterback coming into the season, forced into duty after Siebert goes down with that season-ending injury. So, yeah, you have to have depth across the board, Howie, and it'll be interesting to see what Catalano can do here as the game progresses.
So we've got Pierce and Riley Morrison back to return the kickoff. Clan down 7-0 to start this football game. The line drive kick. Morrison fields it at about his 3. He's over the 10, the 15. Runs into his own man as he's going to the 20-yard line. He'll get taken down at about the 17.
Yeah, it looked like there was actually a bit of a gap there, but Simon Fraser Morrison unfortunately runs into his own guy. So Simon Fraser once again with a bit of a long field here, taking over at their 18-yard line. But I really like the attitude that Nixitch has had this evening, taking some shots down the field. Glover's looked good on a couple of runs. We had that one big one brought back by penalties. So Simon Fraser's going to have to avoid those penalties and keep moving the ball down the field. Can't have a 3-and-out here.
Oh, they gave too much away last week, Nick. They can't keep doing the same thing here tonight. So about face for the Clan here is Nixitch now ready to get down the field. Quick out to Tanner Nelson, and he's going to get driven out of bounds for about a loss of about 2 yards, I think. Tanner Nelson, number 44.
Yeah, just trying to catch the defense napping there. We haven't heard his name often this year in the passing game. We've seen him out there on running downs, but Nelson sneaks out, getting his first catch of the game. Does get about a yard pushed back behind the sticks, but makes it a 2nd-and-9.
This time Solomon Hines back into the game. A swift cut through the hole, but a small gain. Positive gain anyway for the Clan here.
When we saw a lot of Hines last week, he's got really good breakaway speed, but his agility in the hole, he's needs some work here. So the offensive line has got to open up some nice gaps for him and let that speed get unloaded.
They switch it up. They bring Mason Glover back into the backfield. This time Nelson with a 3-step drop. Quick shot going for Rice and John. I can't believe there it is. Really being accosted on that play from behind by the Azusa Pacific player number 20, and that is Ben Sukit.
Yeah, definitely a tug on the jersey there, Howie. That's going to be an automatic first down, pass interference.
So Rice and John affecting the opposition defense here as he attempts to haul in that pass. 5:32 left in this quarter. They picked up the flag.
Picked up the flag there, Howie. That's pretty interesting. I thought I saw a tug of a jersey as that ball got out to John, but
great camera shot there, field level of the frustration from head coach Thomas Ford.
Yeah, that's too bad. Another 3-and-out for Simon Fraser now punting again from inside their own 25.
Well, Keith Metzlars continues to get a workout and a great season he's having in terms of his average, but certainly would love to see the Clan not having to punt as much as they are here. Back to receive the punt, Quentin Frazier, number 7.
Another boomer.
Frazier will field it at his 36, and he's hit immediately, but he bounces off the tackle. Finally taken down there by number 46 of the Clan, Jacob Wade.
Yeah, great coverage there by Simon Fraser and a really nice kick by Metzlar. So APU is going to take over at about their 43-yard line, and we really saw this is a big thing last year. A lot of keys for Simon Fraser was be able to hold the offense, and then a couple big plays. And that's what we saw last drive with that Catalano big scamper down to the 1 yard line. So hopefully Simon Fraser can limit the big plays here and force a 3 and out at midfield.
Clan defense, a great opening series for them, trying to hold off the big play capabilities as they stop the run. It looks like the tackle there coming from Griffin Barrett, the linebacker out of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, leading the GNAC in tackles. Both he and Brendan Lowry, the safety, the top 2 tacklers coming into this game from the GNAC.
Yeah, and the Cougars just pulled their guard or tackle and brought him around, but Barrett was right there in the hole to meet the Cougar running back and brings him down for just a gain of 2.
So 2nd and 8 here. Catalano remains in at quarterback. Quick throw to the sidelines, and that one's going to go off the ground. Dawson Marchand, the coverage on Daryl Adams Jr., the senior wide receiver out of Stellar Prep in Oakland, California.
Yeah, it looked like he just slipped a bit coming out of the break, and how is something we talked about before the game as well. And Simon Fraser practices on artificial turf, and we are down here visiting at Swangard for the season as a new stadium is constructed up on the hill at Burnaby Mountain. So a lot of teams nowadays not super used to playing on the grass field and might have to switch up their cleats in between drives here.
Looks like a flag on the Cougars. So Joe Murphy, the senior offensive lineman out of St. John Bosco High School, getting called for the false start.
Yeah, he heard one and the quarterback said 2 and jumped on the first down there, making this an even better opportunity for Simon Fraser to pick up a stop here.
3rd and 13, we'll call it from the 40-yard line of the Cougars. Catalano awaiting the snap. Looking downfield, has to break out of the pocket. Sidearm throw intended for Daryl Adams Jr., but great job there by the Clan.
Yeah, just a good coverage sack there, Howie. I was checking out the secondary on that play, and just not much to go downfield, so Catalano has to pull it down, run to his right, and as a quarterback rolling to your left and throwing back across your body, that's a tough throw. So Catalano throws that one into the ground, and Simon Fraser, great job to force a 3 and out and actually move the Cougars backwards here, and that's going to be Cobb standing at his own 15. Hopefully could get a little nice return here.
Great opportunity here for Gavin Cobb to kickstart the Simon Fraser Clan here in this opening quarter of play. Simon Fraser trailing 7-0. Cobb, that one's going to hit the turf. Cobb will field it, and he reverses field and gets up to about the 20-yard line. Cobb with some nice work there to gain about 5 yards.
So consecutive 3 and outs here for Simon Fraser after a couple first downs on their first drive. Now with just under 5 minutes left in the first quarter, you can't have 3 and outs in a row, Howie. Let's get a couple first downs. Glover looked good originally on that first drive, but it looked like the Cougars really hunkered down their defensive line, bringing 5 guys down on the line of scrimmage, covering up all those gaps. So we'll see what adjustments Simon Fraser's made in between drives here.
See if they want to take that big shot. A gain to Rice and John, who's lined up on the far side of the field. Nick Sitch instead over the middle to Nelson and through number 44's hands. Lucky that didn't get picked.
It looked like Nelson had some space if he would have brought that one down as well, coming across to the right side of the formation, but just slipped through his hands and falls incomplete.
Simon Fraser doesn't have a lot of room for error here, and they ran the play well. 44 needs to squeeze it. He knows it, and we'll see what happens here as the Simon Fraser Clan get ready on 2nd down. Nick Sitch a handoff, and that is Glover dragging tacklers across the 25-yard line.
And good vision there from Glover. I didn't really see a ton open there, but Glover able to slice through on that little zone read play, pick up 5, and make this a much more manageable opportunity for Nick Sitch.
Nice job there to plant and get upfield, fall forward, and create a 3rd and 5 here. A big down here on this drive deep in the Clan end. Nick Sitch steps back, has some time, steps up in the pocket, delivers, and right through the hands of Ethan Basalt, one of the sure-handed guys in that receiving corps, Nick.
I am excited to see Simon Fraser's pass protection much better here tonight. Nixon's had some time there, but unfortunately just maybe it's a slick ball, just couldn't squeeze it. And Basalt definitely would have had enough for a first down there over the middle, but unfortunately falls harmlessly incomplete.
Tanner Nelson can't hang on, and neither can Ethan Basalt, and the Simon Fraser clan are forced to punt away the football. Again, a far too familiar script here in this opening quarter of play. Basalt rocketing it down the field. Richard Lewis with a nice return. He's still on his feet, and he is going to take it into the end zone. We see a flag
at midfield, though, Howie. Hopefully this one will come back.
There's a flag out about the 50-yard line.
Boy, there was a really nice block on the edge. I don't think we're going to get a replay of it, but just running step for step down the left side. Oh, yeah, there it is. We see, can't catch the number there, but a great block there, and really set number 12 off down the field, Richard Lewis.
Isaiah Richard Lewis, tough break for him and for the Azusa Pacific Cougars. That's going to get called back, as Nick says, that penalty freeing Richard Lewis for the nice run down the sideline. So a big penalty there for Azusa Pacific.
I think they called a clip there, Howie, because it was a 15-yarder. So takes APU way back into their own end, and nice job by Metzlar to flip the field there.
They're at their own 35-yard line. Simon Fraser, can they make a defensive statement here? Catalano, the quick handoff, and some nice running room there through traffic by Azusa Pacific, and that was Barack Ross, the freshman from Downey High School in Carson, California. You talked about a deep running back core. They are,
and we've seen it here this evening, Howie. They're just bringing in the fresh running back, and nice room there to the left side. Just a zone read, and running downhill picks up 8.
So second and short here. Great opening play on this drive for Azusa Pacific. A high snap corralled. And again, going to the marker, it's going to be close for Barack Ross. Matt Duda in there as one of the clan tacklers as well.
Yeah, good way to rally up to this ball here. That was Duda coming up from his safety spot. Forcing
as well, yeah.
Forcing a third and short here, Howie. This would be a big stop into the Cougars' end.
Well, Simon Fraser coming off a nice defensive series where they drove Azusa Pacific back, and they do the same here. It would be huge in terms of getting a great field to work with. But this is extremely tough. Third and about a third of a yard here. Handoff, and they will get the first down. Going off tackle there with Cassius Reynolds.
Yeah, when you only need 6 inches, it's pretty easy to get there, and ball carrier just sort of tumbles forward and picks up that first down. So, but good job by Simon Fraser rallying up on those last 2 downs to create some short runs, but nice to get a stop here at midfield.
Catalano and company approaching midfield. Catalano stepping back, has time, lets it go, and I think they're going to rule that a catch.
Wow. What a catch. No, there he come. Back official came in and said incomplete.
Daryl Adams Jr., the ball disappeared from our view here for a second, at which time the officials obviously ruled it slipped out or he didn't have control of it.
Can you see it on the replay here, Howie?
I think their field.
Boy, that's close, but couldn't tell. But nice zone coverage there from Simon Fraser. Linebackers dropping underneath that throw, and Adams Jr. just trying to settle down in that soft spot, but the throw just a bit off.
So call it second down and 10 to go here from the 46-yard line. Fake the run. Catalano keeps it, and he has a ton of real estate out there. And he's going to get driven out of bounds. I believe that was Lowry, Brendan Lowry. But what a huge gainer. The Clan are especially vulnerable, it seems, to the quarterback. Catalano with the football today, Nick.
Well, that one was a bit different than that. That was definitely a design run rather than Catalano's last big run. But you just see here, you option the end there. That's Jackson that pushes down. Catalano pulls it and has daylight down the right side.
So here they are again, getting something going here at the Clan 31-yard line. A high snap over the head of Catalano, and they are going to give up a 10. Oh, the Clan recover the football. And a great job there by Simon Fraser's Anthony Crescenzo. He dove on the football.
I think that one's coming back, Howie. I think it was Simon Fraser offside at the line, though. But we'll see. The refs are talking about it a little bit longer than I thought.
No, they are taking it back.
Just jumped a bit there and maybe forced that errant snap from the center over the head of Catalano. Cougars don't need any more help than they're already getting.
Wow, that was a huge break for Azusa Pacific. And a tough one for the Clan, who thought they had possession of the football. So Azusa now 1st and 10 at the Clan 26-yard line. Catalano scrambles, pursued, and he is going to get taken down. A great job in pursuit of the backfield there by Isaac Evans, the defensive end. That's Evans' second sack in this game.
Yeah, second sack of the game, and he just sort of sliced up the middle again like he did last time and was able to chase down Catalano from the backside and bring him down for a big loss. Great play, Evans.
This Clan defense is trying to bend but not break. They're giving up some real big plays, taking bad penalties, but that'll cure some ills. A great job there by Isaac Evans, the former Terry Fox Raven. Coming off the edge to get the sack of Catalano. 2nd and long, the handoff. Gain of about 3.5, 4 yards there.
And it looks pretty good here today, Howie. Simon Fraser against this run game has looked pretty good. Definitely, as opposed to last week against School of Mines, where getting a little bit pushed around. Simon Fraser has not been pushed around on their defensive line. Aside from the 2 big Catalano runs, really haven't had a ton going for them here this evening.
Yeah, trailing 7-0, that Catalano run obviously was key to the first touchdown. Can the Clan actually negate the last long run by the Azusa quarterback?
And Azusa Pacific taking a timeout here, their first one of the evening, and a big conversion here. This is 3rd and 11, probably out of field goal range, but Azusa, maybe if they do get half of it, do they try that field goal, or would it make it more a 4th and manageable? So a big decision here early in the game for the Cougars, and a big 3rd down potential stop here for Simon Fraser.
Well, the field markers still indicate 2nd down. I don't know quite what's happening there.
No, it's got to be 3rd down. That's a mistake.
Yeah, definitely 3rd and 11. They've still got it 2nd.
I think now the refs are noticing they're coming in. It is 3rd down.
So a big down here for this Clan defense. And really they have been able to give their offense a spark. So many of the Clan offensive players tipping their helmets last week to the effort of their defense. And they get it now to 3rd and 11 here. 3rd and 11 with 20 seconds left in this opening quarter of play.
Oh, flags again.
Flags again, and that snaps sailing past the quarterback.
And when the offensive line starts walking back right away, they know it's on them. So that'll make it 3rd and even longer.
So Victor Santa Cruz, the head coach here, wanting his guys to have a bit more communication and rhythm here. They're shooting themselves in the foot in the late stages of this opening quarter of play. So 3rd and a bunch.
Definitely takes them out of field goal range, so see how that changes the play call here.
It's about 3rd and 16 or 3rd and 17 here from the Clan 37-yard line. Pursued again, and
nice.
This time another sack by the Clan. What a great job. Spencer McCabe coming in there and getting the sack for the Simon Fraser Clan.
And the Clan only rushed 4, and Azusa protected with 6. They left their running back into protect, but just a great play and really confused that offensive line. A couple sacks on this play, on this drive. Great to see from the Simon Fraser defense.
Wow, a wide open gap there for McCabe to just steamroll right to the quarterback. And a great job there from number 87, Spencer McCabe. The junior out of O'Day High School in Seattle, Washington.
He's smiling on the sidelines. He's having a good time down there. It's good.
Isaac Evans with a couple as well as we get to the end of this opening quarter play. Nick, first quarter's over. They gave up a couple of huge runs to the quarterback, but like you say, they really negated the damage.
I'm liking what I'm seeing so far tonight, especially defensively. Again, same as last week. But the big obviously negative is Nikšić 2 for 8. I did mention that I liked all of his tosses downfield, but maybe with a 25% completion percentage, do have to do a little bit shorter shots. But Azusa Pacific, again, aside from the 71 rushing yards from Catalano, he's that long of 49. Really not much to this game. Pretty back and forth. And, Simon Fraser hanging with the Cougars pretty well.
They're not going to loft one up here for Cobb. They want to make it as difficult as they can for number 11, who's in his wheelhouse returning just these punts in the GNAC. The former Mount Douglas Ram, the Subway Bowl MVP, Gavin Cobb, awaiting this high kick.
Shorter kick.
And it is going to go out of bounds at about somewhere around the 25-yard line.
That'll probably be the best starting field position for Simon Fraser this evening here. So now that we start the second quarter, the first quarter's over, the jitters are done, you're at home, you're excited to be playing in front of your family, but you've made some adjustments here in the first quarter. Now I'm really excited to see what Nikšić can do here in the second, and once again we get the 4 wide look and Mason Glover in the backfield. But time to string together some first downs here for Simon Fraser.
It's a handoff to Glover. Little hesitation. Step wants to cut, but slips and falls right into a wave of Azusa Pacific tacklers led by number 34, Micah Roth, the team's leading tackler out of that whip linebacker spot.
Yeah, just not much there. Pulled both their guard and tackle from the wide side of the field, but not much there, and Glover swallowed up.
2nd and 12 now. Glover will stay in the game. Rice and John lined up to the near side of the field. Looks like it's going to Rice and John. It's going to go right over his head, though. And step for step with him, number 25, Cassius Reynolds.
Same kind of look that we saw in the first offensive play from Simon Fraser. Just sort of chuck the ball down the field to John, see if he can pull it down. But
if I'm mistaken, Nick, or is Cassius Reynolds going both ways here? I think he's gotten some handoffs offensively, but he's playing at a corner spot as well. Stepping up against that rush is Nikšić, but he's going to go down in the backfield for another loss. The Kleiner going backwards here. And the Azusa Pacific pass rush is starting to gain some traction.
Yeah, and we see we talked about it before the game, 17 sacks through 3 games, but none in the first quarter. Simon Fraser, I thought had been doing a better job, but when you are in 3rd and long, tough to always protect for as long as those routes need to develop past the sticks. So Nikšić, a smart play there, doesn't fumble, doesn't throw a pick, wraps it up, and gets tackled in the backfield and lives to fight another day.
Quentin Frazier, number 7, back to return this punt from Keith Metzelars, lined up at about his own 37-yard line. Early stages, second quarter here from Swangard Stadium. What a beautiful night for football. Frazier will charge it, and he's going to get taken down at about the 47-yard line, but good field here, short field for Azusa Pacific to do their work.
And Azusa's been playing with plus territory often this evening, and we saw that with South Dakota last week as well, and eventually Simon Fraser did break down a bit, but the defense here still fresh early in the second quarter. Hopefully can get a stop here and just try and flip the field here a bit and hopefully get the offense the ball and maybe force a turnover, get a couple sacks, do something to flip the field here and get Nikšić the ball in plus territory.
Catalano was 70 yards rushing on 2 carries in that opening quarter. He's going to stand in and deliver, and that's a flat-out drop at about the 50-yard line. Matt Duda with the coverage on number 11, Shane Hirsch, the tight end, the senior out of Fairbanks, Alaska.
Boy, we'll see. It's really thrown right into his hands here, Howie. Maybe it's something on the balls tonight. The couple drops by Simon Fraser receivers, and now this one by the Cougar receiver as well. So maybe just not used to playing on that artificial grass down there.
Hirsch at a North Pole High School in Alaska, where the clan basketball teams love to go to the North Pole when they head up there. Catalano Little sleight of hand, keeps it, but gains only a couple of yards as he gets snowed under at about the 48-yard line.
Yep, pretty deceptive there, but Simon Fraser was able to stick with it well. Catalano only picks up 2 yards, and again, what we've seen probably the whole first quarter was a 3rd and 7 or 8 from midfield, and Azusa hasn't been able to crack down inside the red zone except that one drive. So hopefully Simon Fraser can come up with a big stop here on 3rd down.
The Catalano only passed for 36 yards in the opening quarter. This time some
Ball's
nice
on the
moves.
ground.
Who's going to get it? Simon Fraser battling hard, but I think
the Cougars came back up with it.
The Cougars did get it.
Yeah. Does pop out here just in the middle of the run here. Good tug on the ball there by Spencer McCabe. Forces the fumble, but Cougars able to pick it up, but they are going to bring out the punting unit. Interesting decision to run the ball on 3rd and 8 and then bring out the punt unit when you pick up half of what you need. But Cougars playing the field position game here, and I guess why not? Simon Fraser hasn't done a ton offensively, save for their first drive, a couple first downs. So the Cougars will punt it down into Simon Fraser territory and let this offense beat them.
Gavin Cobb would love to get his mitts on a football here and show everybody what he can do. He might get a chance this time around. We'll see what happens. No, it's going to fall in front of him and die at about the 15-yard line. If you're Victor Santa Cruz and the rest of the Azusa Pacific staff, Nick, you obviously know a lot about what Gavin Cobb can do from a couple of seasons ago, and obviously based on what he did last week.
Yeah, and Cobb's an exciting player, and we haven't seen him be targeted too often offensively. It's been more of the John and Basalt and Nelson out of the backfield as well. So hopefully they can get him the ball here in space and see what he can do.
So Simon Fraser would love to string together some first downs here and get some offensive identity in this football game. They hand off for a running play. They're going to gain about close to 5 yards on the play, and that's Solomon Hines with some tough yards up the middle.
Yeah, just a good zone run up the middle and able to pick up half of what you need on first down. That's always what you like to see.
Well, the running game just seems so much more stout and confident just based on the fact that you've got Glover back there, Nick, and I think that's a great sign for what could follow in this football game. The Clan hanging in on 2nd down as Nixic goes to the sidelines, has a man! Simon Fraser heading down the field, and that is Solomon Hines out of the backfield, and he will score the touchdown.
Beautiful throw by Nixic down the field. Hines coming out of the backfield, matched up against a linebacker, and we know the SFU track star, he's going to burn by that linebacker, catches the ball and waltzes into the end zone.
75 yards for Solomon Hines, and as we said last week, he a couple seasons ago was the Washington State 200-meter high school track and field sprint champion. He's got the wheels. He's part of that Clan sprint team, and he showed you the Jets there. They weren't going to catch him. What a great job by Solomon Hines.
Eisencraft in for the extra point here.
Oh, and it goes awry. Eisencraft will try and pass it. He's going to put it up. Oh, and it's tipped away through a number of hands, but that Simon Fraser game there, trying to kick field goals and extra points, is a little bit rocky right now.
But here's the throw again from Nixic on Hines, and that linebacker cannot keep up with Solomon Hines, and
wow,
waltzes his way down the field for the touchdown, and should have brought Simon Fraser even, but unfortunately the bad snap there, and 7-6 ball game, but Simon Fraser right back in it.
Well, Nixic, we want to just talk about the pure aspect of his touch on the ball, Nick. I mean, it's impressive to see. He really is taking you from about here to about here, but he's given you a great opportunity to make catch.
The deep ball to Ryzen John on the first play was he dropped in a bucket from 40 yards away, and same thing right there. So I'm really impressed with the touch that he's thrown, and we talked about it before the game how if he can get some time to throw the ball and let those deep routes develop, this guy's got an arm, and he can hit targets deep down the field. Does it with Hines there, and that's a touchdown.
The missed extra point, though, key. And you sure hope that's not going to come back and haunt Simon Fraser here as they try to win their first GNAC game since 2014. Keys Metzelar, the sophomore out of Port Orchard, Washington, will get things underway again after the exciting touchdown play. Simon Fraser special teams get downfield and make the tackle at about the 23-yard line.
And now again an opportunity for Simon Fraser. You know, the Cougars really haven't put together a drive in a while here. Catalano's looked a bit confused in the backfield, and Simon Fraser able to bring some pressure. So now, with the Cougars backed up in relative terms to, they've been starting a lot of their drives around the 40, 50-yard line today. Starting at their own 24, if Simon Fraser can force a 3-and-out here, that'd be a great field position for Simon Fraser.
Catalano, a rare pass, his 4th of the game. He's going to find a man down the field, and they will get the first down on the sideline, and a great job there. It's Isaiah Richard Lewis, the 6-foot freshman receiver, making the big play.
Yeah, and Duda, usually sure-handed with those tackles, and Barrett as well, but just flips that ball out of the backfield and able to pick up a first down there on their first play of this drive.
So although they don't attack the field vertically, they're finding ways to get players in space and making athletes, getting athletes the opportunity to make plays. Josiah Richard Lewis there with a nice job.
The end around, he's got space.
End around and right down the field.
Well, flags though.
But I think the flag is going to get thrown against the Clan.
We will see. Oh no, that's going to be a hold. I think it's coming back, Howie. Luckily, boy, that was a little Statue of Liberty there. Fake from Catalano really drew that fake well, and Richard Lewis coming around from the left to the right had grass for days, but holding penalty is going to bring that back, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
So I believe that was Shane Hurst, the tight end, the senior, getting called for the penalty. That was Adams, Darrell Adams Jr., who had his big play wiped out. So penalties, not only the bane of the Clan's existence, but Azusa Pacific battling the flags as well here in this first half of play. They're staring at a 1st and 15. Handoff, nice run. Gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, where it'll be 2nd and 10. Is that Jermel Jones?
No, that's Reddick again.
Reddick, okay, excuse me.
Yeah. Took a couple drives off, but now back in the game. Did look like he came up with a bit of a limp there down on the sidelines. We see assistant coach Ben Meinecker and the crew coaching him up tonight. Pretty good game here for Simon Fraser.
Yeah, the defense really making a statement here. 2nd and 10. Catalano, time to step up in the pocket. And that one is going to go incomplete.
Boy.
Intended for Richard Lewis.
Simon Fraser just getting way more pressure than we've seen, especially last week. We're barely able to touch the South Dakota School of Mines quarterback, Toby Smith, last week. But really confusing this offensive line with some stunts and some blitzes, and able to force Catalano into that short arm throw. And now a 3rd and long here for Simon Fraser. It'd be a big stop.
Clan defense bears down here, trying to make a statement here in this opening half. Catalano, quick drop, has a man, and they will not be able to complete the pass. And that was to number 32, Bryce Grandison.
Yeah, not even close, and that's a big stop there for Simon Fraser midway through this second quarter. They're going to get the ball back, hopefully around their 30, 40-yard line, and this will give Cobb a little bit more space, a little bit more opportunity. He's not standing with his heels on the 9-yard line like every other punt.
Nick, when you see plays like a Statue of Liberty, that kind of stuff put in for the quarterback, clearly the coaching staff did what they could over the week to prep to get Catalano in his best position for success, right? I mean, he's not a vertical threat down the field.
We haven't really seen him force the ball down the field, but there's still time in this game. Maybe Catalano just getting his feet wet.
That's going to drive Cobb back. He's going to get it at about his own 16-yard line. Tight real estate on the sideline. Cobb still makes a ton out of it. Gets out at about the 33-yard line.
And a flag at the line of scrimmage here. Wonder if somebody was standing offside or something. Referees are talking about it back near the original line of scrimmage.
Well, Simon Fraser connecting on that. I believe it was a 75-yard pass play to Solomon Hines out of the backfield. Clan missing the extra point and getting the football back, and would love to keep that offensive momentum going.
Here's the call here. It's Going to be a good starting position here for
Wow.
Simon Fraser. Their best starting field position of the game, starting at their own 43-yard line. And an opportunity here to drive, to take the lead here midway through the second quarter. And, we haven't really seen them put together consistent first downs, but there was that big play to Solomon Hines the last drive. And so we'll see what they come out with here. But an opportunity here to take the lead on this drive.
Passing play, they go down the field, taking a shot to Ryzen John. He leaps but can't squeeze the football at about the 22-yard line. So they took a big home run shot there, Nick.
Now it's the third time we've seen that play. Tell you how he did connect the first time, but now incomplete on these last two. Just a little bit out of the outstretched arms of John, and Nick Stitch just not quite on the same page on that fly route.
That didn't have the same touch that a few of his other big gainers have had, including one to John on the other sideline to start this game. Again, he will short the intermediate pass. Spin move there by Gavin Cobb to the 50. On second down is going to be a gain of about 7 yards.
You just see the strong arm from Nick Sitch, really able to take that snap in the gun or in the pistol, and that's a wide side out by Cobb, and he just fires it in there for a gain of 7 and makes this a third manageable.
Yeah, big arm there, showing some nice strength and touch, finding Cobb. Third down facing the Clan, 3rd and 3, and it's a handoff to Glover. He's going to come to the near sideline, met though, and dragged down the tackle there by number 34, Micah Roth. And he's a tackling machine for Azusa Pacific.
And we'll see, just not able to get around the edge here, and Azusa Pacific able to push that line of scrimmage into the Clan backfield and wrapped up. Looks like Simon Fraser's going to keep their offense on the field here. An interesting decision at midfield, 4th and 5.
4th and 5, a big one here. Glover will remain in the backfield, trips to the high side of the field. Nick Sitch being chased out of the pocket. This is going to be dangerous. He throws it, has a man. Oh, it's Roth who scoops it up out of bounds, but they're going to surrender the ball on 4th down.
Yeah, came up with the interception he did, but it actually makes them lose yardage on that play. And just didn't look like what they wanted was there, and Nick Sitch rolls out to his right, trying to force the ball down the field. It was intercepted, but...
that was an interception. I thought he got it out of bounds. Okay.
Brings the ball. We've seen all evening Nick Sitch with some deep throws going for it on 4th and 5, but...
that was really aggressive.
Coach Ford obviously...
on their side of the 50.
Coach Ford obviously very excited about what he's seeing from his defense tonight.
Catalano's going to hang on to the football. He's going to gain about 5 yards as he spins and bobs and is taken down right at midfield.
Yeah, and Simon Fraser better able to react to when Catalano pulls that fake there, and able to rally up, gain of 5 yards, but at least it's not 45 like it was the last time Catalano pulled it.
Right at midfield, and here come the Cougars again with their backup quarterback, Catalano. He looks downfield, steps up in the pocket, delivers a long ball right down the field, and they are going to, that could be offensive pass interference, Nick.
Yeah, it looked like that's what the defensive back is pleading for, but it looks like
Noah Bogardus had his arms around the neck of the Clan defensive back.
Boy, but it looks like the original signal was against Simon Fraser. That's a bit of a surprise.
Well, let's take a look on the replay here.
Oh, no, now they're walking back. Azusa's walking back.
That would have been criminal if that was the case. Take a look and see for yourself.
Yeah, he's got his hand around his neck. No, they did. They called it against the defense, Howie. Wow.
Ooh, where is that call coming from?
Wow,
that's a tough break for Simon Fraser, and all you need to do is look at the play, but wow, Azusa Pacific gets a big break here. Can they make it count? So they take over 1st and 10 at the Clan 35-yard line on the pass interference penalty. And they're going to gash the Clan defense here with the run game. And they're going to get inside the 10-yard line with Zakel Reddick, the junior.
Yeah, and just a nice run there, Howie. We saw it off the left side, and boy, the difference one penalty can make, and now down inside their own 10-yard line. And again, we see the replay of that pass interference, just the end there, and it really looked like Cougar receiver had hooked the defensive back, but maybe the defensive back was impeding his progress down the field, and that's what the referee saw. So first and goal for the Cougars at the 6.
First and goal, and a run right down to about the 3-yard line, it looks like. And I apologize for getting Cassius Reynolds and Reddick mixed up earlier today to our Azusa fans watching. Reddick getting right down to the goal line. Another tough break here for the Clan on that call, and they are forced to defend at the shadow of their own goal line here. A tough task with this run-heavy package put in here by the Cougars, and they will get into the end zone. Well, that was Cassius Reynolds. Is Cassius Reynolds not number 25?
Yeah, that's what it says in the program here, but yeah, that's who they're saying it is. But yeah, another touchdown there for Azusa.
So Reynolds with a touchdown makes it 13-6 with 6:13 remaining to the half.
It's the second touchdown of the game, a second 1-yard run.
Ramsey Jared Lee again on for the extra point. And he will go 2 for 2 here, 14-6. So an 8-point deficit here for the Clan. Still plenty of time to get something going, but that was a backbreaker, Nick, on that call.
Yeah, big call there, but you know, the next play you really have to forget about it and move on. And Simon Fraser gives up a 35-yard run on the next play to take it down inside their own 10-yard line. So you know, obviously it's a big swing, and you know you'd want first and 20 with offensive pass interference, but you've got to make a stop defensively.
That one is eerily similar to the effect that the Gavin Cobb touchdown that was taken off the board had, because Simon Fraser still got the ball deep in South Dakota territory after the penalty was called and couldn't do anything, couldn't even get a field goal.
Well, and you just saw it there. Kind of a collective breath out of the stadium here, Howie. But Simon Fraser's going to have to rally. You know, the calls aren't always going to go your way, and you know, they're going to have to put something together offensively. You know, had a couple big plays, but really not able to sustain any drives here, Howie. And that's the mark of a big quality offense, is be able to run the ball and pick up first downs consecutively and not have to rely on those big plays, because if those big plays aren't there, sometimes you're not going to score many points in a game.
Kickoff, and fielding it is Riley Morrison, over the 20, doing a good job on the sidelines, taken out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, but a nice return there by number 6, Riley Morrison.
Yeah, good job there by Morrison. You just saw some space out to the right, picked up some blocks, and decent starting field position here for Nixich.
You're right. They got to put that in their past and not worry about it, move forward. And the headline of the story I wrote in Varsity Letters last week, growing pains for this Clan team, because you can see how close they're getting, Nick, but they're getting derailed, and
you know what,
a lot of the wounds self-inflicted.
It's still a one-score game, and we're in the exact place we were last week with that halftime bomb, and came out in the second half and threw a pick six. So Nixich can't force the ball. He's got to understand it's still a one-score game, and there's lots of time left.
Nixich this time to the sidelines, has a man at Gavin Cobb, and Cobb's going to get a first down at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, great throw, and it looked like they're picking on Cassius Reynolds there, the running back, defensive back. Looks like he slipped in coverage, and Cobb able to pick up the first down.
So a nice play out of the gate there for Brandon Nixich, the freshman quarterback. Finding Gavin Cobb. Solomon Hines, the speedster, with a touchdown now in the backfield for Simon Fraser. Ryzen John lined up to the near side of the field. It's Hines off tackle to the far side, cuts it inside, but is met immediately. And I believe that was number 7, Quentin Frazier, up from the secondary to make the stop.
Yeah, just sort of a little guard tackle, swinging and pulling to the left side. Hines picks up 3 yards, gets a bit of a headache, but 2nd and 7 is manageable for Nixich.
Nixich takes a look at the sidelines. Play clock down to 16.
SFU going 4 wide again.
Solomon Hines again, quick steps up the middle, trying to establish that run game. They're going to get to about 3rd and 4 here for a short gain by Solomon Hines. Are you surprised by the play call?
I think on that kind of play, you're just looking to spread the defense out when you bring out 4 wide. The splits were really wide too, and just hoping to create a hole for Hines. And, we've seen him in space. We saw him last week with tearing off a big run, and then we saw the big catch earlier in the game. But just not able to open up a big enough gap for Hines, and forcing a 3rd and 5 here with Glover in the backfield.
So it's Metters, Cobb, and Rice and John lined up to the near side of the field. Nixic over the middle, has a man! It's Rice and John, and he will score the touchdown! Wide open, Rice and John. And that Clan pass game looking very, very effective here in this opening half of play.
And Nixic looked down the middle and saw Rice and John galloping wide open down the middle. Just a little post route over the middle. And I didn't quite see the coverage that the Cougars are running, but it looked like SFU had 2 free runners down the field. John catches that ball and waltzes into the end zone for a big score here late in the second.
So the Clan will go for the extra point here. Eisengraf back on the field, electing not to go for 2, and he will drive that one through. So the Clan get...
No, he missed it, Howie.
Oh, he missed it again. Are you kidding me?
Wide to the right.
Wow, they are struggling with their point after group right now.
But there we see John on the sideline getting those celebratory high fives. And
you just mentioned it, Nick, too. He had the Hail Mary at the half of the South Dakota game and scored a big touchdown. So Rice and John, again, a huge surge of energy for this.
Well, he's
team.
A big target, and how do you miss him when he's that wide open over the middle? And Nixic didn't. Sticks it right on him in stride, and John gallops down the field for the touchdown and brings Simon Fraser now within 2 with that missed extra point. So Simon Fraser with some work to do on their point after attempts, and maybe we'll see in the second half some 2-point convert attempts, or perhaps another kicker on their roster, Christy Elliott.
Christy Elliott, who could make history with a point after or a field goal. So Rice and John, what a job by the former Vancouver College Fighting Irish receiver.
Just a great response drive from Simon Fraser, and again, those big plays. And mea culpa, I wanted them to put some first downs together and grind this clock a bit, but you'll take that touchdown from Rice and John on that big play, and Simon Fraser's offense got some quick strike ability.
You better believe it, and that's a great comment, Nick, because they didn't put their heads down after that call went against them, and pass interference gave up the touchdown. Came right back and scored one of their own. Lots of space here as they go down the field. That's number 23 is Zakel Reddick, who's going to get up close to midfield.
Yeah, and you could just see it from up here. It looked like that left side just kind of collapsed down. Great job by the Cougars to respond, and basically this has been their normal starting position for every drive this evening, anywhere between their own 40 and midfield. But enough time here for them to put together a drive. But on the flip side, if Simon Fraser can get a stop here, they would have enough time to respond with a score themselves.
42-yard line, or check that 47-yard line. Catalano has a man, overshoots him. And that was number 9, and Darrell Adams Jr. So they came out looking for the quick hit to number 9, Adams Jr.
Yeah, Catalano just doesn't seem to have that ability to strike down the field. They've had some opportunities to throw some deep balls and some receivers that have had a step, but just not able to make that connection just yet.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars. Catalano the handoff to Reddick, and he is going to bull his way down across midfield. A gain of about 7 yards.
We'll just see it here on the replay. Reddick takes it and gets that edge on the right side, picks up 7. But again, third and stoppable here for Simon Fraser at midfield, and would be a big stop here at midfield.
See if the Clan defense can rally here and keep some points off the board and give their offense another shot here. That Clan sideline jumping up to in encouragement. Catalano, ball is tipped. And a great opportunity there is going to go through the fingertips of Anthony Crescenzo, number 16.
And again, just Catalano not seeming to be on the same page with his receivers tonight. Came in relief last week and did pretty well for the Cougars, almost leading to a comeback victory. But this evening, just not on the same page with his receivers, and another one just out of the grasp here, and brings up a 4th down, and the Cougars bring out the punt unit. Big stop by Simon Fraser.
Great job by the Clan defense. Gavin Cobb back at his own 10-yard line.
There we did get a shot of Christy Elliott warming up the leg on the sideline there. Perhaps she'll get the call later in the game.
Christy Elliott may well. Here's Cobb. He'll field it and hit the deck at about his own 16-yard line. So Simon Fraser with 3:11, plenty of time here.
Yeah, lots of time. 2 timeouts, 3:11 left on the clock, and honestly, they haven't needed 3:11 to score here, Howie. Both their scores have come on the big play here, and we'll see what they've drawn up, what adjustments they've made in between. And now defensively for the Cougars, 2 big plays against is quite a hit to the ego, so you know that they're going to be upset. They're going to pin their ears back. And, obviously Simon Fraser probably won't be able to run the ball here with such short time left on the clock. So the Cougars going to be able to rush the passer and maybe bring some extra heat here.
See what kind of touch Nixich has. A handoff to Cobb as he goes around the end, and not a lot there for Gavin Cobb to turn and find the edge.
Carry by number 11, Gavin Cobb, 2nd down.
Nixich showing us some real touch on the deep balls today. And the big play receivers have been Solomon Hines out of the backfield, Ryzen John as well, number 19. Scrambling, looking for a receiver downfield. He'll pop it up and basically just throw it away.
And it looked like they had some double moves on down the field, but Nixich was pressured and had to get rid of it. So
that's going to bring up 3rd down here for Simon Fraser.
And now if you're Azusa Pacific, you're licking your chops here. 3rd and 10, be able to rush the passer, and offensively maybe going to be able to take the ball over at midfield. So big opportunity here for Simon Fraser to get a conversion.
See what Nixich does as he looks back to the sideline. That's Mason Glover in the backfield. Again, 4 wide for Simon Fraser. It's a handoff to Glover. He's going to run to the sideline, and Glover has the 1st down. A gutsy play call, Nick, but Mason Glover makes it count.
Well, and that's something you can do when the defense is really pinning their ears back and rushing the passer. Just slip a draw in there, and you see 3 offensive linemen down the field, 5 yards down the field, blocking for Glover. Thought I saw a face mask there as well, but goes uncalled. But a 1st down nonetheless for Simon Fraser as the clock ticks. 2:30.
2:33 left at the 30-yard line here for Brandon Nixich. Hand off to Glover, who wants to go up the middle. He puts it on the deck, and it's a Azusa Pacific football. Recovered, we believe, by Ben Sockett, number 20. Oh.
Boy, that's a tough break, and we see it on the replay here. Just, I think it was 43 came in and popped it out. That was Dylan Tucker, the sophomore from California, pops that ball out and now gives Azusa the ball in plus field position here as they take over at the Simon Fraser 37.
Can't keep giving the Cougars all of these opportunities. Short fields and turnovers in their own end. Simon Fraser really, I think, testing the patience of the football gods here. They're going to be in a bit of a pickle here if Azusa can get into the end zone with 2:20 left. Catalano keeps fast feet, and he's going to get rocked.
Flag down behind the play as well. Probably a hold.
So we'll see what happens. It was about a 6-yard gain there by Catalano, running with his hair on fire.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Number 11 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from previous line. 1st down.
It's a break for Simon Fraser, pushing the Cougars out of field goal range here. 2:13 left. Cougars do have all 3 of their timeouts, so lots of time. But, again, Catalano not looking very comfortable passing the ball. Looks much more comfortable when he's running.
Takes a drop, looks down the field, has a man, and a great catch. Great focus there as Josiah Richard Lewis turns around, squares himself to that football, and comes down with it just outside the 20.
And I spoke too soon, Howie. Another highlight reel catch by Richard Lewis. He had one earlier down the sideline as well. And nice catch, just gets up and gets to the high point of that ball and brings it down.
That's some great focus and great concentration there. And really sets up this Azusa Pacific team before the half. Catalano looks to the end zone, has a man knocked away by Duda. Matt Duda with a great job there. Outsized, but getting a mitt on that football.
Yeah, great coverage there by Duda and Lowry. I think we'll see Catalano throws it into double coverage there. So not a ton of space to fit that in. That's a tight window. That's Duda and Lowry back there, the safeties combining for that knockaway, and good play.
I believe that was Bogardus, the wide receiver number 80, the intended target. So second down here. Catalano this time will hand off, and a great job. They blow that play up in the backfield. I believe darting in there.
Yeah, we see he just comes down the right side, and I think it's 26. Maybe 28. Oh, 25, sorry.
Ian Crocker, the outside linebacker.
Ian Crocker, the linebacker, comes in and chops down the running back and brings him down for a loss.
So 3rd and 11 here. Can the Clan do it one more time and try and limit the damage here? Catalano, finds a man. He's going to be shy. Oh, it's incomplete. It was going to be just shy of the first down, intended for Zakel Riddick.
We were just seeing that turf monster occasionally, the Azusa Pacific and some Simon Fraser players not able to. Oh, there's a late flag, though, here, Howie. What's that going to be about? Is it a hold, or it could be a roughing the passer? Oh, that would be terrible. I guess it depends who you cheer for.
From the Clan fans' perspective, though, yeah. From the hometown perspective, that would not be good. It would, and it is going to go against Simon Fraser. They're going to march it off, and
we'll see. I didn't see it, Howie. I was watching the play down the field, but I'm not sure if we have a replay.
First and 10 at the 11, it looks like.
Quarterback throwing the ball, but roughing the passer after the play. 94, Brandon Kennedy gives an opportunity for Azusa Pacific down now inside the red zone.
Well, Simon Fraser has had their defense in such tough situations on a couple of occasions here. And, of course, you mentioned those short touchdown runs that they've had, marching right to the edge of the goal line. Threatening a gain here as the half is almost complete. Catalano still with the football, finds a man, and he hangs on at the 5-yard line. Number 23, Zakel Reddick.
Yeah, good coverage in the end zone, but Reddick just sort of takes that play fake and sneaks up the middle. Catalano gets a 7-yard completion. Timeout here for Azusa just to assess their options. Lots of time left. They've got 2 timeouts left, 51 seconds on the clock. Lots of time to see what they can do. They can still obviously obtain a first down by getting down to the 2, and then they'd have 4 more cracks. But would be a huge stop here for Simon Fraser if they can force a field goal attempt from Azusa Pacific. As just, a tough fumble there by Mason Glover inside your own end is something you never want, but, with under 2 minutes left in the half is definitely something you don't want. And look for the Simon Fraser defense to rally up here and needs a stop.
That real tough assignment here for this Clan defense. 51.3 seconds left, and this resourceful Azusa Pacific team without its starting quarterback getting the job done here as they look for their first win of the season, their first GNAC victory as well of the campaign. Catalano is going to get caught in the backfield and taken down there.
Boy, it's almost like they knew that was coming. I think they had 2 guys contain on the outside there. You can see both the Clan defenders are there, and Catalano not able to make
Crescenzo with the
much
tackle.
Space there. And, Anthony Crescenzo with a great stop. And Azusa's going to take another timeout here and talk over their options.
Well, Simon Fraser has asked a lot of its defense, and boy, Nick, you look at some of those calls that have not gone their way, some of obviously the big turnover, putting the ball on the turf.
And that's a testament to a young team, and a team that's very inexperienced in a lot of, I think, 8 freshman starters. So, but they're going to learn and can't make those mistakes. But be a big confidence boost here if they could get a stop.
Catalano looking to the end zone. Incomplete, looking for number 11, the tight end Shane Hirsch.
Boy, and I think Catalano thought his receiver was going to break the other way because he was pretty upset after the throw. You see he looks to the right. I think he thought his receiver was going to cut inside. It's Shane Hirsch. Falls incomplete and forces a field goal attempt, which is, if you're Simon Fraser, you're pretty happy with what you're able to do with just under 2 minutes left and giving the ball up in your own end here.
You'd only be down by 5. And if you're Simon Fraser, as Nick says, you got to take that. They have.
Oh, flag. It was no good anyway, though, so they missed. And a big stop there for Simon Fraser. Amazing accomplishment before half. And I think there was a hold on Azusa Pacific, but that won't matter here as they'll take the no points there.
Hey, Nick, I think if we look at this first half, you can potentially look at that as really turning the tide if the Clan can keep that momentum going in the second half. What a huge play by the Clan. They cough up the ball in their own end, and they get Azusa Pacific was 1st and 10 at the Clan 11, and Simon Fraser dodges a bullet completely. They come away unscathed. 35.4 seconds left in this opening half of play. That can be a big moment in this football game.
And we'll see what Coach Tom Ford decides to do here. They do have 2 timeouts, 35 seconds left. Coming out 4 wide. They're not kneeling the ball down here, Howie. So let's see what this Niksich kid has up his sleeve.
Niksich is going to look downfield. He's looking to the sideline.
Scott John.
Instead, he will go to Robert Metters, and Metters with his first catch of the game gets out of bounds quickly, and a gain of about 7 yards there on first down.
They've got time, 25 seconds on the clock. Sorry, 28 on the game clock, 20 now on the play clock.
You got Gavin Cobb out there. It's part of a trips package to the near side of the field. Cobb, instead, quick pass again to Metters, and he gets driven out of bounds, which is good to stop the clock with 21 seconds left.
Some long developing routes down the field, and Azusa's obviously keen to that as not much time left on the clock. They're not going to let them get beat deep, but a smart play by Metters to get out of bounds and live to fight another day here. And got some time here if we know Niksich has got an arm. But
3rd and short, see what they do here as Niksich looks down the field. Let's go. Finds a man in Cobb. Cobb's got the first down. He should get out of bounds quickly, and he does that as he crosses the 45-yard line. So the Clan moving the football nicely.
And just a short crosser over the middle here, Howie. We'll see it on the replay. If all your Cougar defenders are going to be bailing out, that leaves an opportunity for Cobb to come over the middle, makes a catch and run of about 15 yards.
Niksich, middle of the field looking for Cobb. A couple more ticks off the clock on first down.
Probably just time for 2 plays here, Howie. So see if they decide to huck one down the field, maybe draw a penalty, get another untimed down. We'll see what Coach Ford draws up here.
Keeping Mason Glover in the game, Nick, and not bringing the speedster out of the backfield, Solomon Hines. Perhaps Rice and John again. He's getting jammed pretty tight. They get Cobb, and he makes the catch out to the 40.
He gets down, and he'll take a timeout here.
Wow, 2.1 seconds left.
And they'll have a shot to throw it in the end zone. We saw last week how a last-second Hail Mary throw to Rise and John. And we know Niksich has the arm. Great job to get into some sort of a scoring range here with not much time left on the clock, able to get out of bounds. Really good maturity here from Simon Fraser offense as they finish off the second quarter.
Yeah, let's highlight the stretch drive of the second half. They got burned on a pass interference call that went against them, and they still came back to score a touchdown. They cough it up deep in their end, and they prevent even a field goal attempt by Azusa Pacific, and now they come marching out of their own end zone with a Hail Mary opportunity here with 5 seconds remaining in the half.
And we see John right there at the bottom of your screen on the short side of the field. You can probably expect that he's going to be the target to Azusa Pacific with 3 guys on his side. So see what Niksich has in his arm.
5 seconds left. Niksich takes the snap, looks downfield. He's going to air it out. Going for Bryson John, right through John's hands. A tough break there. Would have been tough to get to the end zone. John right there on the sideline at about the 10-yard line. But what a great recovery over the later stages of this second quarter play as the Simon Fraser clan very much in this football game, trailing 14-12. Nick Day come charging off the field with some confidence, looking forward to the second half.
Simon Fraser's defense has looked really good here, Howie, and been able to stop the Cougars as they did last week against South Dakota, given some short fields, but able to have some stops, and offensively looking like we're ticking a little bit better here as the first half comes to an end.
Well, Nick and I will take a short break here on Clan TV, back with a few minutes to go before the start of the second half to bring you up to date on we actually can stick around here. Let's do this, and let's take a look at some of these first half numbers. What jumps out at you, Nick?
Well, I think 222 yards of passing for Brandon Niksich really came around. He was 2 for 8 in the first quarter, now 10 for 22 with that long pass to Solomon Hines. I really liked what I saw from both sides of the ball in that second quarter. Really didn't let themselves get down with that pass interference that really swung the play. Still 5 penalties for 41 yards, but Azusa Pacific 7 for 55. And, third down conversions, 3 of 9 for Simon Fraser. But, net yards here, I can't remember the last time a Simon Fraser has outgained
a team and a
half. And they've done so here this evening, 37 plays for 267 yards, outgaining Azusa Pacific. On the Azusa Pacific side, Catalano doesn't look super comfortable throwing the ball. So they've done a pretty good job of limiting his big plays through the air. Now, through the ground, he's got 4 rushes for 78 yards, only 6 for 18 through the air for 79 yards. Their big receiver, Richard Lewis, has 5 catches for 72. Pretty even game here for Simon Fraser. Defensively, very impressive. Had some sacks, some big plays in the secondary, really given some short fields through some ineffective offense through that late first quarter, early second quarter, and the defense stepped up. Didn't bury their heads in the sand, came to play, and I think we're in for a really good game here in the second half, Howie.
The numbers are showing the Simon Fraser clan to be doing some good things. They trail by 2 on 2 missed point afters, and that's the only difference between them and the visiting Azusa Pacific Cougars. We will take a short break here and be back with more before the start of the second half right here from Swangard Stadium on Clan TV.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
The 39th annual Terry Fox event here at Simon Fraser University. Today is a very special day at SFU as we remember former SFU student Terry Fox and raise money for the Terry Fox Foundation.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
stuck. Not in a good headspace, and I really need to talk to someone right now.
My roommate seems depressed, and I don't know how to help. I try everything to make her day better, but I just don't know what to do.
I've been struggling to balance school, athletics, and the rest of my life. I've been really overwhelmed, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it.
My parents expect me to be a doctor, but that's just not what I want at all. They'll be devastated if they find out I'm changing my plans.
I miss home, my family, and my friends. I'm just really lonely here.
As a student athlete, I'm expected to handle almost everything on my own. Sometimes, I could really just use someone to talk to.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
First ever NCAA golf tournament in Canada. To have the American schools cross the border, see us on our home turf, that's something brand new.
Awesome experience to win our first tournament, especially being on the home turf. This one was probably the big one for me since it was my first collegiate win, and you never really forget that. So it was a very good feeling.
That's temporary. Any goal that you achieve that you have for yourself lasts forever. Yeah?
Let's go!
And welcome back to Clan TV. Howard Samura, Nick Sersky getting ready for the second half of play. Azusa Pacific visiting tonight the lead at the half, 14-12 over the hometown Simon Fraser Clan. And some interesting developments, I think, some things to look forward to in the second half. I'd like to cover this right off the top, Nick, and that is the kicker, Christy Elliott, who was such a great story through fall camp. Came out of nowhere, kicked a 40-yard field goal on a dare and was invited to training camp, made this football team, and let's face it, the Clan have struggled with extra points and field goals. What are your thoughts on Christy Elliott potentially, if she gets a chance, becoming the first woman to ever score in the history of Canadian University football?
Well, and we talked about Eisencraft being the highly recruited kicker here, but so far 0 for 3 on the season. Missed the one extra point this evening. Had the other one was a tough snap, and if it really comes down to this, I wonder what or if it comes down to a field goal, I wonder what Coach Tom Ford will decide. I'm interested to see how that all shakes out, but the kicking game, especially in American college rules, is such a big piece, because you can drive all the way down the field and miss a field goal, get 0 points out of it, and give the ball back right over to the opposing offense. So I'm interested to see how it develops, and regardless, Simon Fraser's right in this game here. We've got a field goal game. We could be tied if those extra points were to go our way, but we've got a tight ball game here, and Simon Fraser, we were talking about at the half, this is probably the first time since playing Willamette last season where we've outgained a team in the first half, and really done it two different ways. Azusa Pacific really pounding the ground, 22 attempts for 160 yards, where SFU has 222 yards through the air with only 45 through the ground. So really opposing styles. One quarterback looks super comfortable back there. That's Nixich. One quarterback doesn't look so comfortable back there. That's Catalano, but still moving the ball with relative efficiency. So I'm interested to see how this second half takes shape. And yeah, I think it's going to be. I think we're in for a barn burner here.
We need to clarify as well, and Azusa Pacific fans probably already know it. They're going, what are those two guys in Canada talking about? But Coach Victor Santa Cruz actually had two players wearing jersey number 25 in that first half, one on defense and one on offense. And we called both of their names. We thought they were both Cassius Reynolds. Azusa fans obviously knew what was going on. We think, I don't know, but we'll let you know. The guy on offense was actually Dante Davis. So the two touchdowns scored from the 1 and the 3 yard lines were actually Dante Davis. So the leading scorer in the game, he's got 2 touchdowns, and now we know actually who scored those touchdowns.
And as typical Canadians will apologize. Sorry.
Sorry
our mistake.
That,
so
yeah.
but yeah, looking forward to a really good half here, and we see the team down there on the sidelines getting fired up for this second half, just about a minute and a half away. We see Christy Elliott there practicing extra point attempt length kicks down there.
And I just want to bring something up. I mean, you know what? I did a story on her in fall camp, and you know what? Thomas Ford, the head coach, said straight out, right? She doesn't have the leg to punt it or to do kickoff duty on this team. But there's something about when you make her a place kicker, it's a completely different thing. And she's just got a knack for the rhythm and the mechanics of that. I mean, David Eisencraft as well, I know is a good kicker, and he's going through a tough time right now. But, if Christy Elliott does get a chance, I mean, kudos to her. I mean, she's shown some terrific form. When I wrote that story on Twitter, Thomas Ford actually sent a Twitter out saying, we're serious here, okay? Just know that we're very serious. This is not some publicity stunt that we're running here. She can kick the ball.
If you can kick, you can kick, and that's all that matters here, Howie. Yeah,
and I hope she gets a chance, because she's worked so hard. Christy Elliott, the Windsor Secondary grad out there right now. You can see her. She's just knocking them through. Of course, doing it with the, with the game on the line.
No rush is a little different. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. But whatever happens. But just to advise our viewers on the potential situation of Christy Elliott, number 88, getting a chance potentially to become the first woman to ever score a point in a Canadian University football game.
Yep. And Simon Fraser with an opportunity to break their GNAC losing drought, which has lasted a few years here. And Azusa Pacific, Simon Fraser came to play tonight. We're a beautiful night under the lights. Couldn't ask for better weather here. No rain in the forecast. A little bit chilly for maybe the Azusa Pacific fans here from California, but perfect night for football, and we're ready to kick off the second half.
And they will receive Azusa Pacific well, and you have to give them a ton of credit for their resourcefulness in putting in their backup quarterback, Anthony Catalano. He's not a slinger, so to speak, but they are surviving by their instincts and putting him in positions for success, and they're leading this game as we start the second half, 14-12. They will receive the football. And off the opening kick, fielded at the 10, bobbled. And a tough start here for the Cougars. They're trying to make the best of it. They're going to get out to about the 23-yard line. Some good scrambling play there by Lamario Howard just to get where he got.
And you know this, Howie, football's such a game of adjustments here, and it's going to be interesting to see what both teams have done. Stylistically, from Simon Fraser, we've seen a lot more pressure defensively. They've had some sacks. They were able to bring down Catalano in the backfield as the referees are discussing a flag here on the play. For the Cougars, really running the ball pretty consistently, 5 yards, 6 yards gains on the ground. We saw that last week again against the South Dakota School of Mines. So two different styles here. We'll see how they adjust coming into this second half. Simon Fraser, the Cougars are going to be stuck with a long field here. I think there was a hold on that play, so bringing it back to their own 11, and Simon Fraser with an opportunity to pin the Cougars deep. 3
sacks, including 2 by the defensive end Isaac Evans in that opening half for the Simon Fraser clan as Catalano prepares to take the snap out of the gun. He looks downfield, has a man. Great job there, and that providing the coverage there is number 1 from the clan. And a great job there. That's Dawson Marchant, the former Lord Tweedsmuir Panther out of Surrey with a great job defensively.
Yeah, Marchant was step for step with him right down the field, and Catalano comes out slinging.
So 2nd and 10 here. The Clan defense primed and ready to make a statement early in this second half of play. This time the handoff, and that's Reddick. He's going to put the ball on the ground, and it looks like the Clan have it. Was that Brendan Lowry that got in there? We'll see what the officials say. Originally, no, Lowry's up already, so he doesn't have it.
I think it looks like Azusa got back on it. Boy, there was a mad scramble for that. And a flag is in the mix as well here on the backside of this play. I'm assuming a hold.
So Azusa dispossessed of the football by the Clan on a running play by Reddick. Little draw play, and that is
Cummings there. Or sorry, Marchant.
Marchant, Dawson Marchant doing a great job to jar it loose. You're right,
and just a mad scramble for the ball.
So they're going backwards, and the Simon Fraser Clan defense is earning its stripes here. Really not letting the adversity get them down. They're only trailing by 2, and they're doing their best here to keep the Cougars pinned deep in their own end as we start this second half of play from Swangard Stadium. Another handoff.
Boy, good run.
And that is Bryce Grandison, who came into this game actually leading the team in rushing, but we didn't see a lot of him in the first half.
Yeah, just a little draw play, and there really didn't look like there was much there, but he just keeps those legs churning, able to step ahead and step over some tacklers and get this to be at least a third and manageable here.
Great job by Grandison. You're right, third and manageable. 3rd and 5 as Azusa scraping and clawing to get to that first down marker. Catalano, designed run play off the snap, and he's going to find a ton of real estate over across the 40 to the 50. He's at the Simon Fraser 40, and what a huge run. The 3rd run of this game of the massive Richter scale variety by Catalano.
And we've seen that from him before tonight, and Simon Fraser just doesn't key in on him as a running quarterback, expecting the throw here. That was a design run all the way. Basically takes 2 little hop steps and on his way with the man coverage on the back end from Simon Fraser. All their backs are turned, and Catalano's just running free down the field.
From the 38, so that's a 12-10. He's well over 100 yards rushing now, is Catalano, and he's into Simon Fraser Clan territory on this opening drive. Here's a little pitch. and breaking tackles and knocked out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Great run there by Grandison, who's
yeah, that's a powerful run, boy. He
now
really
getting back into it. Why wasn't this guy carrying the ball in the opening half?
He looks good down there, Howie, and able to break a couple tackles in the backfield. Simon Fraser just not wrapping up those legs. Grandison gets low. Look at this power in those legs. Boom, knocks those guys down and gets a gain of 4.
So Davis, Reddick, and now Grandison, the three-headed backfield monster for this Cougars team, who are really becoming a power football team here in the opening stages of the third quarter. Here's Catalano, floats it, and great catch down to the 10-yard line. What a grab there. And that was Bogardus, the wide receiver, the junior wide receiver, Jordan Bogardus.
Boy, just some highlight reel catches here from the Cougars. They've really had to lay out, and full extension there. Bogardus, nice catch, bringing it down to the Clan 10-yard line.
Simon Fraser showing some good signs defensively to start this second half, but big plays by Catalano and now Bogardus have got them in the red zone.
Oh, he's open.
To the end zone, wide open for the touchdown. And number 11 with a catch there for Azusa Pacific, and that is, did they get that number right, Nick?
Yep, Hirsch.
Oh, Hirsch, the tight end, yes, getting the catch.
Yeah, just a nice throw from Catalano. He had 2 straight there, and Simon Fraser just drops into a bit of a zone, and I think that was Daryl Adams in the flat, just sort of flattened out. Jarrell Cummings goes forward on that one, and Hirsch is open in the end zone and gets the touchdown.
And they make good on the extra point as well, so 3 for 3 on the point after. It's 21-12. That lead now out to 9 points. So essentially a 2-score game here now for Azusa Pacific in terms of their early lead here in the third quarter.
And a nice response drive from Azusa Pacific, really pinned down, back down at their start of the drive at the 11-yard line. Simon Fraser has them in 3rd and long, and Catalano breaks off a huge run, breaking the backs of Simon Fraser and flipping the field, then marching down into the red zone and scoring a touchdown. So now it's going to be up to Simon Fraser, and we saw last week Nixich come out and throw 2 pick-sixes in the second half, and that's going to obviously be something that he's going to want to avoid. But it looked later on in that second quarter that this offense had matured a bit, able to move the ball a little bit better. And so I'm interested to see what adjustments they've made at halftime to get Glover going. The run game really hasn't been super effective this evening. It's been a lot of Nixich dropping back and making plays with his feet as well. So interested to see what they've got in store for us.
As resourceful as Azusa has been with their backup quarterback, Simon Fraser needs to do the same, needs to play to its strengths on offense. And if that's some touch from Nixich, they are going to bobble it, though. Morrison, fast feet, Riley Morrison over the 15 is going to get taken out at about the 16, makes good on what could have been disaster down by the goal line.
Now we'll see Nixich trot out here, take over at their own 16-yard line, and he's got a long field of his own here as you see the huddle. We'll just see the bobble here by Morrison. He does scamper out and get a decent return out of it, but boy, you'd really like to be starting at your 20 or further ahead here.
I'll take that instead of fumbling into your end zone and giving up some disaster here following the Azusa touchdown. So here they are deep and looking to drive, and are they going to play to the deep touch of Nixich? No, he was just going to spike the ball, facing pressure. And that, I don't think anything was working there for him.
Yeah, tried to set up a screen there for Naylor. We've seen him in the game sparingly this evening, but it looked like it was covered up pretty well, and Nixich just throws that one into the ground.
They've got some speed and length on the far side of the field as they go 3 receivers. I believe that's Cobb, Rice and John, and Basalt. It's a handoff instead to Glover. Straight arm, breaks a tackle, but gets dragged down.
Boy, and if he would have broken that tackle, Howie, there was some daylight there. Good, strong run by Glover. Just following the lead of his guard and tackle who pulled out in front of him. And picks up 7 on the run.
Ben Sukit with the persistent effort defensively limits the first down, creates a 3rd and 3 here for Simon Fraser. It's Nikic. Finds a man in Cobb, but I don't think Cobb, he may be close. Was that a catch, Nick?
Marks down that he got it, but looks like he's going to be just short.
Just shy? No, they're moving the
Oh,
it looks like they're moving the sticks.
Caught it right at the sticks. Good catch by Cobb, too. Had to stretch a bit for that one.
Yeah, and it's a very alert play. You're right. Number 11, Gavin Cobb, extending, knowing what he needed to do with that catch. So a great job there from number 11 to get a first down for the Clan. Cobb in motion. It's a handoff to Glover, and he's going to get some tough yards up the middle, a couple at least for Mason Glover, making his only his 2nd appearance of the season. Was hurt in the first half, I believe, against Portland State.
We see him there. He's a solid build and has had a couple good runs this evening, but again, Simon Fraser all in really hasn't had success on the ground here. It's been more through the air.
Mason Glover came here as a defensive back. Thomas Ford talked to me over the summer and said, hey, this kid's looking good at running back, as he tries to spin off a tackle. Simon Fraser trying to establish that run. They can't get it going here, and they're going to face 3rd and quasi-long here.
And they bring in a couple more receivers. You see Basalt coming in for Tanner Nelson, and 4 wide again, 3 to the close side here.
Basalt, Cobb, and Naylor to the near side. Rice and John at the top. Great pass protection there from Glover, but that is going to sail wide. And
yeah, just a miscommunication there, I think, between John and Nixic. John sort of cut his route short there.
Also a lot of physicality on that sideline, too, defensively from Azusa Pacific, who certainly have got increased focus on number 19.
Yeah, looked like it was an option route for John, and he decided to cut it short. It was double covered and not much there. Nixic just tried to throw it up for him and falls harmlessly incomplete.
Oh, the Clan will lean on Metzlar here as he gets set to punt it away. Just under 40-yard average for the half. Gets that one away, a high hanger. It's going to take a Azusa bounce and go back about 6 yards and be fielded at about the 46-yard line. So another great field here for the visitors.
Yeah, pretty normal starting field position here for the Cougars, as much as I hate to admit it, Howie. Again, starting the 43-yard line.
Wow, their average, yeah, you're right.
It's got to be around the 40-yard line.
And they've got 3 touchdowns through the first, 2 quarters and a bit here. So the big daggers have come from the running of the quarterback Catalano today. And as Nick described, that last one, a direct snap and planned run, he just gouged the SFU defense and got right down the field. They'll try the running play, but only get about 2 here. Stout defensive effort there from the Clan to lock it down.
But we've seen this a lot, Howie, and the next time Catalano's going to pull that and get some green grass in front of him. So Simon Fraser's got to be patient, got to really observe who has the ball and make sure those checks and balances and don't crash down too quick if you're the defensive end. If you're the linebacker, you got to overflow and slow play, then rally to the ball when you see it.
It's also a powerful runner in number 32, Bryce Grandison, who just had the ball, and he's their leading rusher. I don't think he had a carry in the first half. Play fake. Oh, and he is stuck. What a great tackle there. The Clan player laying on the hit from the secondary is Duda, but he's feeling that one.
Oh, I think he might have got the worst of it. He's going to walk gingerly off, but a great read by Duda. Nice hit on Richard Lewis.
Love that physical play. Matt Duda did what he had to do.
A smart play not to lead with the head, hit in the head, and just good contact on the receiver, knocks that ball loose.
3rd and long here now for the Azusa Pacific squad here as Catalano looks downfield, dances through the traffic, finds a man, can't squeeze it, and a great job there. Peyton Reed, the backup freshman cornerback out of Inglemoor High School.
Actually pretty good coverage there and a good toss by Catalano just out of the reach of the wide receiver there. And again, Simon Fraser's defense able to not allow a first down on that drive where Azusa basically takes the ball over at midfield, and great job by this defense. They've shown some guts here tonight.
Can they get their secret weapon to function at maximum capacity? That's the question. Can they get an opportunity for Gavin Cobb to build up a head of steam? That one is almost fielded and saved, but it'll be a touchback there for the Simon Fraser clan. I'd like to see Gavin Cobb get more involved in that passing game as well.
He had 4 catches in the first half. He's been more of that possession guy this evening. I think I saw him, or I think he got 1 carry on a jet sweep once. We saw that one go for a big gain last week, but then the wheel route that he had, the big play last week, that came off that jet sweep motion. So we'll see if they're hiding that in their bag of tricks with Cobb, and Simon Fraser starting this drive at their own 20.
Here they go. It's a pitch, and it's going to go to Solomon Hines. Trying to get around the edge. He's going to get about 3 yards the hard way. Talking about those clan receivers, Nick. They've had 3 100-yard guys in games. Ryson John has had, I think, 200-yard games. Gavin Cobb has 1. Ethan Basalt has 1. So they can spread it around and get big production. We'll see what happens here on 2nd and 6. Nixic finding a man, and that's Riley Morrison. He sits down and gets close to the first down.
And we've seen that trips bunch to the wide side a few times this evening and last week as well. And that's Morrison's smart play, just to sit down in that soft zone. They don't man up, the Cougars on that play anyway, and sits down for a gain of about 5.
See if there's some power here with Glover. He's going to take the handoff, battle for the first down, and gets really close, but maybe just shy.
I think they're marching in just short here, Howie.
He's going to be about the length of a football away, I think, but we'll see what happens.
Boy, and SFU looking like they're going to go for it here in their own end.
This is a huge play. They do not want to turn the ball over on such a short field. Basically would be giving Azusa the ball at the 30-yard line.
Big play early in this half.
Nixic out of the gun here. Fakes the handoff. And I think he gets it
himself.
Wow.
What a play to rally. I think that was a missed exchange. Looks like Glover didn't think he was going to get the ball, and Nixic just pulls it and, boy, falls forward.
There is no way he drew that up. Look at his expression.
Yeah. Bit of a surprise on the face there, but gets the first down and a gutsy call by Ford here early in the second half.
So they keep
going for it.
Yeah, they keep the drive alive. The young quarterback thinking on his feet in his 3rd start here in the GNAC. Nixic now down the field, has a man, and Ryson John, the big catch, the 40, taken down inside, just outside the 30-yard line. What a great play as Ryson John gets his team right down the field.
And we saw that big catch and run earlier on a post pattern, and this was eerily similar. Nixic just sort of sat back, let that route develop. Ryson John coming over the middle, had to reach back. Quite an acrobatic catch to reach behind himself. We'll see it on the replay here. And John picks up a big chunk of yardage here. Great throw by Nixic. A little bit behind, but good catch and run.
Loving the kid's arm. Nixic again.
You're looking for
this
Hines.
Time looking deep, has Solomon Hines, and that's Solomon Hines. Tough coverage there. He can't squeeze it. No flags. And the coverage there, tight from a Ben Sukut number 20.
Again, eerily similar to that earlier play where Hines got free from the linebacker. It seems when SFU knows that they've got man coverage, they find Hines one-on-one against a linebacker and just huck it up and see, because Hines is definitely faster than the average linebacker you have out there.
Second down, finds a man, and they come close to another first down on 2nd down. This time it's Riley Morrison doing double duty today on special teams and on offense. It actually will be about 2.5, 3 yards shy of a first down.
A little bit of tempo here. I like it from Simon Fraser.
Glover. Hard yards, but he is met by a pack by 4 Azusa tacklers and driven back.
Well, I assume if you're going to go for it on your own 30-yard line, you're probably going to go for it here too.
Great point, Nick. I was thinking the same thing.
4th and 3 here, Howie, and another 4th down conversion for Simon Fraser.
Can they tempt fate again on this drive and convert twice on 4th down on the same drive? Nixic looking downfield, has a man.
Oh, man, he was grabbing
tried to
the whole
cover
way.
and no flag there. Rice and John. Wow, that is really, really tight coverage. Number 3 from Azusa Pacific. That's Lamario Howard providing the coverage.
Boy, I thought there was even a hold before the ball was thrown there, Howie. Looks like he's got his shoulder pad in his arms.
Wow.
But good coverage relatively, but I thought he did hold him. But Simon Fraser showing some aggression there on 4th down, going deep, and now the defense getting decently good starting field position here. Decently good. That's terrible English. Sorry, Howie.
They just can't bite on the quarterback runs here. Short little screen pass developing nicely, but a good tackle there by the Clan to limit the gain. That was Jacob Wade, I believe, the defensive back out of Anchorage, Alaska.
And the Cougars really focusing on getting Grandison the ball here. And when Simon Fraser's been getting a bit of pressure, you see that screen game happen. And Grandison picks up an easy 1st down with that catch.
And now they've got Dante Davis, who scored those 2 short touchdowns, lined up in the backfield. A wealth of riches here for the ground game, and they want to inflict some physical pain on that Clan defensive front.
Flag on the play as well, coming in from the back judge. Oh, a face mask, Howie. SFU's going to give up 15 yards.
Wow. Here. So the bend but don't break mentality, boy, this tests it when you give up a chunk like that.
Face mask. Number 49, APU. 15-yard penalty, end of the run.
Isaac Muckian out of that linebacking group getting called for the face mask, and that's a costly one. It's going to put the Cougars at the Clan 44-yard line. 3:49 left in this 3rd quarter, and a 9-point lead. A touchdown here could be pretty tough to overcome. Davis battling hard, and he's going to gain about 5 yards up the middle, setting up a nice 2nd down here for the Cougars.
And if you're Simon Fraser, this drive needs to end now. You can't really afford to allow the Cougars to put another touchdown on the board here. Howie could be a deficit too much to overcome. So the D needs to come up strong here.
Marching Cougars here at Swangard Stadium. 2nd and 6. Catalano looking down the field, has a man. Oh, and a great play there by
nice
Dawson
play.
Marchant.
Yeah. We've been calling Marchant's name a lot tonight. He's been pressed into coverage, but done pretty well, and good coverage there. Knocks that ball away.
Marchant and Duda in that secondary, along with Brendan Lowry, doing a great job for Simon Fraser tonight. So 3rd down now coming, 3rd and 6. Again, looking down the field, unable to complete that pass, and the tackle or the coverage right there from Peyton Reed, the freshman corner. Young players on the field.
Freshmen everywhere, hey,
wow.
Especially in the secondary, and just such a great job to make a good play there. And Azusa Pacific's going to play the field position game and bring out their punter. So just a great stop by Simon Fraser, digging their heels in, and it seems that there's this force field at the SFU 40 that the Cougars have penetrated a few times, but really they've taken over a bunch of drives at midfield and just haven't been able to get much going.
That could end up on the interweb tonight. That was a great point.
Oh, here's a direct snap to the up back.
Oh, Oh, and a great.
Good play.
Good play. I think they deny the first down.
Yeah.
Or deny the first down, rather.
Yep, didn't
great.
get it.
Who got the stick, Nick? I missed it. Wow.
Didn't see who it was, but great job to recognize that it did happen.
Look at the body coming at you. Grandison packs a punch.
Boom.
Ooh.
32.
Josh Phillip Verdugo, one of the tackles of the game.
Yeah, great job.
And
and
a
now
great tackle.
Good starting field position here for Simon Fraser. Yeah, there you see celebrating on the sideline. Nixic in the gun, throwing to his running back, breaks a tackle, gets about 9 on the play. Good job by Mason Glover coming out of the backfield to make a catch and create a 2nd and short. For Simon Fraser, this is a big opportunity. Big stop on 4th down. The Cougars fake a punt at midfield. We'll see the replay here. Nixic just picks Glover out. Catch and run, and now 2nd and short. Glover will get it again.
Glover bouncing off the tackles and keeping those feet churning, Nick. He's going to get the first down. So a big play there coming off that fake. And the big stop by Verdugo getting Simon Fraser back down the field.
Just like that jump cut from him. He looks quick down there.
I love what I'm seeing with this switching up on the backs now. They're going to put Solomon Hines in there. What a great partnership. And those two guys know each other so well. Here's Hines. Wants to use that speed to find the edge. He does. Solomon Hines. Nice job. And I believe Hines will have the first down.
But a flag on the play.
Oh, in the backfield.
Looks like this one will come back.
That's a tough break there for the Clan. And Nick Giffen, the sophomore or the redshirt freshman, I guess it would be, out of Holy Cross in Surrey, who's done a great job to move into a starting position up front with the Clan, getting called for the penalty there.
Now on offense, just want to chip away at the 1st and 20. Don't try and get it all back at once. Just get something here on 1st down.
Draw play. Hines shakes the tackle, tries to make a cut there to find that new crease, but is going to get taken down. He got a lot of it back, Nick.
Yeah, good job there. And you'd almost expect the you wouldn't expect the offense to run a draw on 1st and 20, and now you make it 2nd down, 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 12, and we know Nixic can get the ball to the sticks. He's got that strong arm.
Looks like they've got Hines in the backfield. Nixic chased out of the pocket. Is just going to throw it out of bounds and bring up a big 3rd down here for Simon Fraser.
Yeah, pretty blanket coverage there from the Cougars looking downfield. Nixic didn't see much. But again, good awareness by the young kid to just roll to his left. He knows where those defenders are, throws the ball away, and lives to fight another day.
57.6 seconds left in the 3rd quarter play, so the clock will start to become an issue here for the Clan as we get set to enter the 4th quarter. Big 3rd down here. Clan would love to get across midfield, get a 1st down, and keep this going. Here's Nixic. Dodges the pressure, finds some real estate, tests that arm, coming back to the ball on the sideline. And that was Ryzen John.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds, though, and that will bring this drive to an end. Resourceful to the end, couldn't get the play they wanted on the sideline, but another show of strength from that arm of Brandon Nixic, and also the chemistry he's building with Rice and John.
You see just not too much initial pressure, but just force a rollout to his right. You see that arm, how he's just kind of flicks it down there, and he's on the run. This kid's got an arm.
A couple more strides to score himself, I think, would have allowed him to make that completion. There's the punt. It's almost blocked, and it's going to set up the Cougars.
As usual, around their own 40. Yep.
Yeah, they're going to be just shy of it this time. But, boy, this Clan defense, based on the average starting position for Azusa Pacific tonight. The Clan defense has played so well.
Yeah, 100% Howie. They've been tagged with a lot of short fields and haven't given up too many points considering.
Can these Cougars continue to find ways? That running game of theirs, though, just starting to hum. And that's Dante Davis getting close to the first down marker. Tough physical run there. He may have the first down. Yeah, they're picking up the sticks and moving them. So just like that, Azusa gains some momentum here. Fake to Davis. Catalano keeps it, goes up the middle, fast feet, but he's not going to get the first down. Still a quality run of about 6 or 7 yards on first down.
Yeah, and we've seen him a lot this evening, pulling those and going for a run, and that was a decent job to contain him as the third quarter comes to an end.
Third quarter comes to an end. My mistake, not as long a run as we thought, maybe about 5 yards. But the final quarter set to begin here, the Clan trailing by 9. Nick, you want this Clan football team to get the reward they want in the win column. But once again, you know, you track the gutsy plays they've made, the adversity they faced, and the ways they've made stands in this game. Is it going to be enough, though,
Again,
you wonder?
A pretty even quarter there, Howie, and we're just getting the stats here now. And Nixich with 280 yards had a decent third quarter, but again, that big Catalano, 6 runs for 127 yards on the ground, and it was that one of his big runs that set up their touchdown pass to Shane Hirsch earlier on in the third quarter. So, you know, Simon Fraser down 9 here, going to need 2 scores, going to need to put a couple drives together. We've seen some quick strike offense, and that's what we're probably going to need here tonight. As you mentioned it, the clock is going to eventually start to become their enemy, and going to need to get the ball back first here.
2nd and 5. Catalano airs it out, has a man, batted away again, and a great job by the Lord Tweedsmuir Panther product, Dawson Marchant. Great foot speed there from Marchant.
And Catalano just seems to decide that he's throwing that seam route no matter what, because he's tried to fit that in there a few times. It just hasn't been there, and Simon Fraser's been able to close on that deep pass well, and 2 defenders there to knock the ball away.
See if they lean on the power running game or if they will turn Catalano loose. Dante Davis again in the backfield. And he is going to try and take it wide. Ooh, a near tackle by Duda. And this time a first down run by Davis.
Yes.
Duda almost had him in the backfield.
Yeah, Duda almost had him in the backfield. Was pretty upset with himself. We saw him slamming the turf there earlier. But, you know, when Azusa Pacific comes out in 2 tight end formation, they're probably going to run the ball, and they did so successfully there on third down.
Yeah, they just lined up 1 receiver to the near side of the field, which this time they go 2 on the top, 1 down with 3 receivers. So a different set here. They will look to throw likely. As Catalano faces the pressure, he gets rid of it as soon as he can. The big rush there.
Yeah, it looked like they were setting up a screen, Howie, and it looks like they would have had some space to run if he would have been able to set his feet and get a good throwaway, but just too much pressure there from Spencer McCabe up the middle, and
McCabe going for his 2nd sack of the game, almost got it.
Dante Davis just couldn't haul that in.
So 2nd and 10 here, but this dangerous Azusa Pacific offense threatening to put the game away potentially with a touchdown here. Here's Davis, hard running up the middle. Well, they can go with Grandison and Davis. They are imposing as well as bringing in a guy like Zakel Reddick.
We've seen Reddick too, and after the third quarter, they've had 246 yards rushing on 31 carries. So the ground game definitely working for them.
And just enough of a passing game to keep you honest with Catalano, who can also, of course, tuck it and go. So 3rd and 7 here as they creep closer to the red zone.
Bringing some heat.
Take the run. They get to the quarterback. Oh, is that a catch?
Wow. Nice catch.
Wow. Jermel Jones, the freshman wide receiver. And I think he did scoop it. We'll take a look at the replay.
Yeah, there was some contact there at the reception point there. He caught it, and I think they're going to bring the sticks in to measure because it's 4th and pretty short here. But boy, what a nice catch there.
Wow.
As the heat was on. And
I didn't see the name of the number of the Clan player that got to the quarterback, but clearly just seconds from nullifying that play on the pass rush by Simon Fraser.
Here, we'll get a good look at the measurement here.
Well, they're going to be short.
About half a yard short, so probably going to go for it. But a big potential stop here for Simon Fraser. Could they stop another 4th down conversion attempt for the Cougars?
Well, they're going to keep Davis in the game, not bring out Grandison. Davis will be the guy here. Unless it's going to be a Catalano sneak.
Yeah, he could pull it here if the line crashes down. So
Simon Fraser, be aware of number 8 and his trickery with Davis as well. Of course, who scored those 2 touchdowns in the opening half from 1 and 3 yards respectively.
You know, it's going to be one of two things. Either going to be Davis on the ground or Catalano pulling it. Simon Fraser's going to have to keep both honest.
They'll go to Davis, looking for room. I think he got it as he scrambled for that half second to find a tiny crease, and he falls forward.
Yeah, it didn't originally look like he was going to have it. Had to cut back to his left, but enough of a push there from the left side of that offensive line, and falls forward and picks up the first down, and more importantly for them, keeps that clock running.
Yeah, good job by the left side of that Azusa offensive line to surge and get the first down at the 25-yard line. So here they are, the Cougars marching and trying to build on a 9-point lead here early in the 4th quarter from Swangard Stadium. Thanks for joining us on Clan TV. Play fake and a short pass. Going to, we haven't called his name in a while, Josiah Richard Lewis with the reception.
Yeah, good tackle there. Way to rally up to that little pass in the flat.
What's new when you look at the South Dakota Mines game, Nick, and this one as well, the Clan defense hemmed in their own end. How many times have they gone through these reps? And it's great for a young defense, but tough on the actual result of what could potentially happen. Here's a throw to the end zone. Oh, and there is no flag on the play,
nice
and
play.
that is Jarrell Cummings, the pure freshman out of Notre Dame.
The receiver took a bit of a hit there as well and slow to get up, but good coverage there by Cummings. Again, step for step with him down the field and one-on-one coverage. Catalano throws a good ball.
These freshman corners are growing up in a hurry here. So many
really
key
well
freshman performances by the Simon Fraser Clan team. You just want to see them and get the result they've been working so hard for. But here comes Azusa again on 3rd down. And you got to tip your hat to how resourceful they've been without their starting quarterback here. Catalano taking the snap, looking again to the sidelines. Breaks a tackle over the 10, the 5, dragged down at about the 3-yard line.
And that was Peyton Reed on the coverage, just sort of over pursued on that tackle and was able to break it and come down inside, down to the 5-yard line.
Isaiah Richard Lewis with that spin move helped free him, and it was big as we take a look at it here on the Clan TV replay. Bit of a spin there.
Break that tackle and head down the sideline.
Matt Duda finally saving the touchdown with that tackle. Davis, he's going to take himself over the 5-yard line.
Gets about a yard, but not much there. Simon Fraser, of course, earlier in the game was tasked with the 1st and 10 at the 11 and was able to stop them for no points, and hoping to repeat that performance here on this drive.
Already leading by 9, could potentially make it 16 points with a converted touchdown here. Can the Clan defense find a way? It's an awful tough question to ask here right now. Davis dragged down shy of the goal line at about the 5-yard line.
Great tackle.
I believe that was Muckian, number 40.
Yeah. Great job, Muckian. Way to slice into the backfield and take him down for a tackle for loss. Here, we'll see it on the replay. Well, just comes from his defensive left and makes a tackle.
Crescenzo also in the neighborhood there, ready to assist. But boy, this Clan defense, the bend but don't break right now on 3rd down. Pass to the end zone and another stop. And that is Jarrell Cummings once again. Cummings has saved 2 touchdowns on this drive, Nick.
He's come to play tonight, Howie. We called his name a lot last week as well. The 5'10 freshman is just good coverage and doesn't pull or tug on a jersey and makes a play on the ball when it gets there.
Looks like he was born
stop.
to play the position. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Nick. And you watched that kid at Notre Dame last year. He was a terrific running back for head coach Dennis Kelly. But, boy, with
you can see his athleticism on every play, Howie. He's able to stick with the big receivers, with the speedy ones, and then make plays on the ball, too.
With his full focus on that defensive position. The transformation he's made, the 23-yard field goal.
I don't think so. Went wide.
He missed it. Simon Fraser. Oh, and there's a flag being thrown. I don't know.
A late flag here.
A late flag with only Clan players near the officials. I don't like the look of that.
Not a good sign. Wonder if something was said after the play.
Because you wouldn't think the Simon Fraser players would be saying anything in terms of there were no flags thrown on any of the coverage plays made by the Clan secondary.
Yeah.
They should be elated. I don't know what they would be chirping about at this point.
No foul on the play. They pick it up.
That is absolutely amazing that Simon Fraser once again is going to deny.
Well, a big stop here, Howie. And
I'm at a loss for words.
The defense has been the story here this evening, and the 21 points really doesn't do their performance justice. They've been tasked with some short fields and some down into the red zone and some big stops. So now offensively for Simon Fraser, 2-score game here, 9 points. You know you're going to need 2 drives, and you'd prefer to get one here quick. But either way you slice it, you're going to have to get 2 scores and get some good defensive play as well. Oh, that's picked.
Oh, I had my head down, and Azusa Pacific is going to take it to the house. That is a backbreaker. So the Cougars, right off the hop, jump in front of the Brandon Nixic pass and take it right into the end zone. We'll take a look at it here on the Clan TV monitor.
Just eerily similar area of the field to last week, Howie, when the first pick 6, and Nixic just looks to his left and maybe just read his receiver or stared down his receiver too much. That's number 20 with the interception.
Ben Suckett, and he's had a terrific game on the defensive side of the ball for Azusa Pacific. That is a killer after Simon Fraser did everything they needed to do, denying and holding pointless Azusa Pacific once again, and this time, though, no mistake as the Cougars make it a 16-point game with 10 minutes left. Nick, it is tough sledding when you're going through the growing pains.
But you know what, Howie? Optimistically, still a 2-score game, right? Two touchdowns and 2-point conversions, and that's the road ahead for Simon Fraser. Nixic is going to have to really bounce back from that poor throw, and he had 2 last week that were returned house calls, and as a young quarterback, it's tough to get over, but you're going to have to shake it off and make some plays here and lead your team offensively. Your team is waiting for you to make those throws, and now you've got an opportunity to lead a touchdown drive here as we just are going to tick under 10 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
I had just scribbled some notes, Nick, and I just heard a in your voice, and I looked up, and there he was, headed to the end zone on a pick 6, and that is a backbreaker if you're a Simon Fraser fan. It's a terrific moment if you're an Azusa Pacific fan.
Well, you're not allowed to scribble notes anymore because that's when the pick 6 has happened. Boy, yeah, that's a tough break. But a great play and a great read by that defensive back.
This looks like Pierce, who has been returning. I believe that's him, but gets taken down heavily there. Morrison helping up his teammate. Oh no, that's Solomon Hines that was returning that kickoff.
Trying to get his speed out there.
Let's hope he's okay.
Look at this impact, Howie. Oof. That's a big hit there by 88.
Big hit there laid on by Antonio Olivieri.
6'4", 235 pounds. Meets Solomon Hines, the track star.
Solomon Hines felt that one as he went to the sidelines and got a pat on the back from Thomas Ford. Here's Nixic facing the pressure, and he's going to go down at the 10-yard line, and that is a sack by number 58, Ella Lima of the Cougars.
I believe that's the first one they've given up tonight, Howie. They've done a much better job protecting Nixic, but this one's going to be a big sack here. 2nd and 20 now, maybe more.
So putting the pressure on, and once again, more tests for the young freshman quarterback to command the offense here. Immediately after throwing the pick six, getting right back into the fray and getting sacked, and now facing a 2nd and long. Breaks out of the pocket. Nixic is going to slide after getting a few of those yards back. Smart play there. See if he can't put some air under the ball on 3rd down. The weapons are all there.
Yeah, he's going to have to, Howie. It's 9 minutes left now. Still down 2 scores, but you're going to have to take some shots here.
And their tempo was good at the 2-minute offense, and when they've carried it on regardless, the high tempo works well with this Clan offense. Great pass protection there, but Nixic is scrambling to the sidelines, puts it up, Metters with the catch, and he is met and driven out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. So Robert Metters making his 2nd catch of the game.
Yeah, and just too far down in your own end to even think about trying a 4th down conversion here. A 4th and about 9, and going to have to punt this one away. Hope for a good kick and another big stop by your defense.
Maybe some special teams magic on the coverage units as well. You've got a great punter there in Keith Metzelar. We'll see what happens here. Rashard Lewis, and there's no flags thrown there. Ooh, an Azusa player just pushed a Simon Fraser player to the field there. There are no flags anywhere, so Azusa doing their usual thing from the inside the 40s.
Yeah, another drive starting
at their own 42-yard line.
42-yard line, and I think we're going to see the ground game here, Howie. 8 minutes left, and try and just churn out some clock here.
Dante Davis, Bryce Grandison, 25 and 32 respectively, can bring that power run game to this Azusa offense.
That's 25 Davis back there.
That pick six, a backbreaker after so many great performances by that Clan defense. There is a completion and a 1st down or close to it up to about the Clan 48-yard line.
Yeah, something we haven't seen too often from the Cougars. They're a little wide receiver screen. Picks up a nice chunk of change there.
Noah Bogardus with the catch, a gain of about 9 yards on 1st down. Call it 2nd and 1, and into Simon Fraser territory with 1 snap of the ball, and that's been the usual field position here tonight for Azusa Pacific. Big run up the middle there. Davis, easily the 1st down to keep the sticks moving. Azusa Pacific could be thinking, let's put some nails in the coffin here.
Yeah, just grind some clock and try and get out of Canada with a win here.
Simon Fraser and so valiantly today on defense, getting big plays on offense, but right now scrambling for some answers here, trying to stop this Cougars offense from churning up the yardage on the Swangard turf.
The sideline view here, we see Davis churning those legs and hauling SFU tacklers with him. Great shot there by our camera crew.
Great job by the Clan TV crew for sure. You're right about that, Nick. Great looks and great replays here all night long. Hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Call this 2nd and 6. Little play fake to Davis. They go to the sidelines. Oh, and
another nice catch.
Another nice catch. What a great grab there. Josiah Richard Lewis again making a great catch.
That's Richard Lewis's 3rd beautiful catch of the evening. Boy, this kid is an athlete. Just coming up over his shoulder.
Look at those hands. That's all hands. As he cradles it, falling to the ground. Another first down as they come knocking on that red zone door. Getting stronger with every snap, and they're keeping it on the ground here for the most part. Are these Azusa Pacific Cougars? Option pitch this time to Davis, and he's going to slice through the defense. Little cut there down to the 10, and he will score the touchdown. Dante Davis with a terrific run off an option pitch from the quarterback.
And just SFU just looks a little bit ground down on defensively, and a couple broken tackles, couple arm tackles here, and Davis able to bounce off 2 or 3 Simon Fraser players and score the touchdown and basically put this one out of reach.
And they're looking for the extra point. Nick, you know what? Big, exciting plays to score the touchdowns, but not enough of the small plays that are going to keep drives alive. And clearly, you know, the Simon Fraser Clan continuing to grow as a program, but they need more consistency in terms of stringing together first downs and keeping long drives alive, not relying on the big plays.
100% Howie, and we've seen flashes of brilliance from this offensive unit, but and defensively there's only so much you can do, and with all these drives starting around midfield, I'm sure the average starting position for Azusa Pacific's drives has probably been the 45-yard line, and when you're getting that sort of plus field position, Howie, it's tough on the defense and just not getting them much rest. And offensively, going to need to. You see Coach Ford taking a timeout after a kickoff, which is something, before a kickoff, which is something you don't always see. But he's getting this team together, just a bit of a pep talk, saying, you know what, this one's not over. There's still time, but we need some more effort here this evening to stay in this one. The Cougars aren't going to go away. They're not going to give up easy.
You want a strong finishing 5:29, but you got to tip your hat to the guys on the other side from California. I mean, they come in here, they don't have their starting quarterback who is leading the GNAC in passing yardage coming into the game, and Tyrone Williams Jr. It's almost funny to call Catalano a backup the way he's played in terms of playing to his strengths, right? Running the football and gashing SFU with big plays throughout this game.
Well, they really game scripted well for Catalano. Didn't make him rely on his arm. He had some big runs, and they were able to play off that. And their run game outside of him as well was pretty strong. We had 3 big running backs make some big plays, and Davis with the 3 touchdowns here tonight has been the backbreaker. But a balanced attack from the Cougars has ground down this SFU defense.
That's for sure. Catalano was not being feared as a passer at the half, but look at the precision and focus of his receivers making tough catches in the air, all hands catches, and it's really given them all dimensions here in the second half. The Clan now on the return. That's Morrison, it looks like, number 6. Dancing, trying to find a hole, is going to get taken down at about the 17-yard line. So let's see if they can put some tempo in this offense, Nick, just like they did at the 2-minute offense before the half. That was impressive to watch. And as this Clan team gets set to play 4 straight GNAC games on the road, they want to finish strong here and go into a week of practice that gets them ready to be away from home for basically the
you don't see that very often.
Boy,
4 road games
in a row. That is a tough one. Here's Ryson John with a catch. He's going to get snowed under and driven back. He's going to lose yardage down at about the 15-yard line. That's a brutal
game. Yeah, our next game in Burnaby here is not till November. It's still September. November 2nd against Western Oregon at 1 o'clock. Note the start time. 2 afternoon games.
Yeah,
Saturday, November 2nd and Saturday, November 16th. Western Oregon and Central Washington will come to play to balance out our GNAC schedule.
Keep in mind the bye week there for the Clan, and they finish with their last 2 at home as Nick Sitch scrambles. I love what they're seeing from this kid and the touch he has on his arm for big plays down the field. But everything, and you wouldn't be real if you were saying, you know what, that everything's a work in progress. Everything is still coming together. You can see it coming together, but it teases you, and then it tells you as well there's still a lot to be done.
Yeah,
here.
just moments of brilliance, but nothing too sustainable for this Simon Fraser Clan, and just not able to pick up consistent first downs.
Unable to squeeze it there. Ethan Basalt, I think that was number 4.
I'm going to keep the offense out there. Might as well at this point.
So the Clan scores coming on 2 touchdowns, both with missed point afters.
And big plays. The 75-yard pass to Solomon Hines and a 50-yard pass to Ryzen John. Two explosion plays, but unfortunately just haven't had any more explosion plays go their way this evening.
Well, they're getting all their touchdowns on big plays. Look to last week, the big Ryzen John Hail Mary at the half, as this time they go to number 13, Ryan Naylor.
It's going to be short of the first down here, Howie, so that'll turn the ball over on downs.
Deep, and the Cougars will lick their chops here as they get back on offense. But last week, big plays. The Gavin Cobb touchdown taken off the board still stood as a 73-yard play, and of course Ryzen's 30-yard Hail Mary at the half. And then today, Solomon Hines and Ryzen John again with big plays.
Definitely a fun offense to watch,
It
Howie,
is fun.
but just haven't been firing on all cylinders yet. And now they've got 4 road games, as we mentioned, in a row to really come together. And, you know, it's always funny when you talk about long road trips with the team, and it's almost where the most special memories are made, and you get to spend time with your buddies and chat about football, talk about football, and a good opportunity for this team to bond. And I know they'll be licking their chops to come back home on November 2nd, but I'm sure they're excited to get it on the road and see some GNAC opponents.
Yeah, there's going to be some toughies, though, when you start thinking about Central Washington, Western Oregon. This is same Azusa team, which could look different the next time they see them. So the streamlined GNAC, boy, you know your competition week in, week out. There's no secrets. As the Cougars now marching with under 4 minutes remaining in this game. Catalano has been superb, but they've made a switch at quarterback now. Have they?
Yeah. Number 10.
Jack Rice, the 6'1 sophomore, and a transfer out of Sac State. So a D1 transfer quarterback. Rice now in the game wearing number 10. Former player for the Hornets.
Just checking the out-of-town scoreboard, Howie. Almost a final here. Western Oregon up 36-26 against Central Washington. So Western Oregon looking like the class of the GNAC here early on in the season.
Well, they're going to go to 2-0 in the conference with a victory there if they can hold on. And Azusa looking to even their record at 1-1. Of course, this is the first Clan GNAC game of the season. Rice is going to get taken down. A nice tackle there. Tackle made by Isaac Muckian, who's been in the middle of things tonight from his linebacking spot, the middle linebacker on this football team. Haven't called Griffin Barrett's name a lot tonight. Haven't called Brendan Lowry's. They're the 2 leading tacklers in the GNAC, Nick.
Yeah, I haven't heard a lot from them this evening. It's been the other guys stepping up, and it's good to have an all-around defensive performance. We talked about it last week. You don't love it when your safeties are leading your team in tackles.
That Clan sideline is enthusiastic as they were when we opened here at 6 o'clock this evening. Under beautiful sunny skies. There's Rice now scrambling. He's going to get taken down in the initial tackle there from Crescenzo, whose name we've called a ton. Crescenzo playing at that linebacker spot, but he's a pretty versatile player between the secondary and that linebacking core.
Yeah, and way to rally up defensively for Simon Fraser. You always don't want to allow us, obviously, as many points as you can, and a bit of a moral victory here for Simon Fraser late in this game to force a field goal attempt.
It'll be the highest offensive output of the season as well for the Clan. Now, if they prevent a field goal here, Nick, they will rue that pick six. This one, though, is good. Simon Fraser forcing Azusa Pacific on I believe it's two, not three occasions of denying them any points inside the 5-yard line. And it's been amazing to watch. And then, boom, there came that pick six backbreaker. Really a tough break for the Simon Fraser team. That said, they would have had to get things going on offense, and they have given really no sign of that for the majority of the second half.
Absolutely. The opportunities were there, Howie. You talked about it. Some missed field goals, some big stops, some sacks that really pushed Azusa back. But, just offensively, again, moments of brilliance, but just not able to put anything sustained together here basically since midway through the first quarter. A couple big plays, but haven't really seen a drive where you're stringing together 5-6 first downs, and that's tough on an offense, but it's also tough on a defense if offensively you're going 3 and out, or maybe 5 and out or whatever. It's tough for the defense to catch their wind, and we saw it down here with that big run by Davis, that the defense just looked a bit gassed, had some arm tackles, and Davis ran through them. He's the fresh running back. They've got the 3-headed monster back there, and you can only contain them for so long when you're on the field for so much.
Some good signs, though, today, too. I loved what SFU did offensively when they played with some tempo and some hurry-up in their offense. I really liked the pass rush they got it early in this first half with those 2 sacks or 3 sacks in the first quarter. Nice return there. And I like the fact that, they've got their own kind of committee happening in the backfield with Mason Glover's entrance here. He's a strong, low center of gravity kid, and I think he can really add to what Solomon Hines does.
Yeah, definitely a different type of running back than Solomon Hines is, and I liked what I saw from both running backs this evening. Just not able to make a big splash play with the run game, but picking up consistent yardage. Not getting losses. But, just not able to string those first downs together, and that's what football is all about.
That's what football is all about, and it's been a tough start here for the Simon Fraser Clan. Doing what they can here as the clock gets to 1:14, but on the verge of going 0-4 and 0-1 in the GNAC. Crosstown, those UBC Thunderbirds as well, they're 0-5, Nick. So the 2 universities that refuse to play in the Shrum Bowl.
Can you remember the last time that happened, Howie? This late in the season? It's crazy, yeah.
But a combined 0-9, if the Clan are following the path it looks like will happen here over the final 57 seconds. But still a great place to be a high school football player, to love this game, and to be a fan of the Simon Fraser Clan.
Yeah, again, good crowd on hand here tonight, and really fun to come down to Swangard and have a cool experience down here. Pretty excited to get that heated press box up at Simon Fraser and Terry Fox Field, though, next year.
That's going to be a great facility. And
really excited about it.
Sure, talked to Thomas Ford about how excited the program is, and really it's a landmark achievement for them just in terms of growing up as a program.
Yeah. 100%. And, when we first came to Terry Fox games, and it's been this way for 50 years. You have sort of bleachers on the track, and sitting on a wet grassy hill in November isn't the most exciting way to watch a football game. So having I believe it's 2,500 covered seats.
Wow.
Very excited, and a better way to watch some football in later on in November, and really excited about that coming 2020 fall. They say it's on schedule.
Hey, you know what? They're gonna go into next season with his kid Nixic as a seasoned guy. You wouldn't have thought he would have got these kinds of reps as a freshman. You're gonna have Justin Sieber back from his injury.
We might have a quarterback controversy.
You're also going to have this kid Gideon Kremler out of Mount Doug, who is one of the most explosive products in BC high school history, suiting up. You're going to have 3 terrific quarterbacks all ready to battle and push each other. Whoever wins that battle, Nick, is going to be ready to play.
Well, when we talked about these freshman defensive backs, Marchant had a great game, Cummings, Peyton Reed as well. you've got a good young team and some talent. We see Ryzen John with the incompletion there. He will be one of the seniors that's graduating today, this year, sorry. And they definitely will miss him. But all in all, a pretty young team for Simon Fraser. So lots to look forward to.
At the very least, you're watching Ryson John next year on TSN. I mean, who knows what I know he's going to explore as many options as he can, but certainly looking like he's heading for the pro career, as are a number of these Clan players. But wanting to see that result on the scoreboard that favors the Clan, and it's not going to happen here tonight. We're going to have to
wait a month
to see these guys again.
At home anyway, yeah. But on the road next week, down at Western Oregon. Get your tickets.
That's a nice drive, actually. It's about a
beautiful drive, and
it's about a 5-hour drive, I would say, down to Western Oregon.
You're going to see a pretty good football team there now. Western Oregon 2-0 in their GNAC record, and Simon Fraser's going to face a tough task again. There is no easy pass here in the GNAC, and it's been like that for years. There's been no easy games on the schedule. So,
well, certainly with the quarterback out here, you'd think, if you can get one, wouldn't it be great to find this as the opportunity in your schedule before you leave for a month? It just was not to be here tonight.
And that knee's going to do it, Howie. That's going to run out the clock.
So the Simon Fraser Clan, despite some very nice moments here tonight, are going to wind up dropping the first game of their 2019 GNAC schedule. They'll fall to 0-3 overall. The final score will be, within a matter of seconds, 38-12. So the Simon Fraser Clan, I think, put on a nice show for their fans here tonight. We saw some backbreakers in that pick six, Nick. Really, I think that was the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row where a pick six really changed the outcome of the game. And obviously you'd love to have that back, but you can't take those back. And for a young quarterback, you're going to have to learn and grow and know what those linebackers dropping under those throws that you're reading and taking them back to the house. So, yeah, tough second half here for Simon Fraser, right in it at halftime, but unfortunately unable to come out ahead this evening.
Well, we're going to bid farewell here, and our thanks to everybody once again on the Clan TV production crew. And we want to thank as well everybody from Simon Fraser Athletics, led by Steve Frost. For Nick Sersky, my analyst, I'm Howard Samura. It's going to be a month of watching online, I think, for us, Nick. We'll be watching throughout the month of October. We'll be thrilled to be back with you to start November for the final couple of Clan games here in the 2019 GNAC season. Safe travels to everybody, and welcome back in November on Clan TV for more football action here from Swan Guard Stadium.